G'day everyone. How's everyone going? So today I'm doing another podcast with one of the members from the team being Slash Puppy, and I've invited some other people being Voxi, Kings, and Will Z to discuss. It's going to be a pretty open forum today, question and answers. We're going to talk about any questions you got about Tarkov, about streaming, and content creation, really. So I try and do a podcast every 2 weeks, try and bring in different people from different aspects of the community. And I'm hoping that you guys will probably learn a bit from this. So I'm fairly confident a lot of viewers that majority of us get are either people, at times, are people that are aspiring to become streamers and content creators as well. So I think it's a good idea that maybe we get some of your questions and we can answer them as a group, and then hopefully you guys can learn something from it, because it is very difficult to start this day and age in content creation. So we'll start with Voxi just to give a quick introduction to yourself, and then we'll go through each person, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, what's up? So my name's Voxi. My forehead is bigger than my life ambitions. I been full-time streaming for about 10 months, which, to be honest, is pretty weird. it's a weird thing. I still try to explain to my parents, but they think I'm just playing games and wasting my life. But yeah, it's been fun, man. Tarkov's been a ride, and all I do is talk shit and shoot people. And it's pretty unreal.
We'll go Woods.
What's up, dudes? My name is Will. I'm 20 years old. I full-time stream Escape from Tarkov in the wee American hours, like EU Australian times. I mainly focus my stream upon about competitive and comedic gameplay. I also used to be a game capture artist for Battlestate Games and Bohemia Interactive.
And Kings.
Hi, I'm Kings, full-time streamer. I main Tarkov. I wouldn't follow my own channel. I'm probably the first person in history where Fleshlight gave me the shaft rather than giving Fleshlight my shaft. And I like to have fun and laugh.
So yeah, we've got a pretty diverse group, different personalities, and that's really good. You got no picture yet. You guys can see the stream, right?
Nah, they're talking about Kings and Willers.
All right, that's all right.
Yeah.
Willers is Willers got a dual PC setup, which we'll touch on, I'm sure, at some point. But he can't take his camera out without fucking all his settings. And I've been there and done that, so I'm back to a single PC setup. So he's not gonna have a camera for this stream. And Kings, you don't want to see him. With everyone here saw him before the stream. You don't want to see him.
I look like Slush Puppy, but I don't want to be judged.
Less hair.
You're
less hair.
proud of it, though. Yeah. Should we introduce ourselves as well?
Go for it, Slash.
Channel. Hi, I'm Slash. Yeah, I'm a full-time streamer. I've been a full-time streamer since January, playing Tarkov. Streamed for about 2 years now. And yeah, as similar to Kings, just focus on the memes and having fun. Not really a competitive player, mainly because of not lack of ambition, lack of skill. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, and I understand Slash's microphone is a bit crackly at the moment. I've got no idea. He doesn't know how to fix it. He's tried to, and he's going to try again.
I'm a microphone king.
And then I'm sure people who've been listening to these podcasts for a while now will know who I am. But I'm actually going to hit my 2 years streaming in a week. But I've been full-time now, pretty much full-time now since about 18 months ago. So it's been a pretty wild ride. I'm gonna just open the floor up now to anyone got any questions about anything Tarkov or streaming related. Start chucking them in chat, and we'll start hitting them up. I'll pick out a question, and if you could direct it to people, that's great. Feel free to try and get as much information out of the other people that are on the podcast that aren't usually here. So Kings, Voxi, and Willers, because it's a rare opportunity to get these individuals on here. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of VIP, you know. Look, they asked me to come to the podcast, and I said, you know, if I have to, man, you know.
VIF, very impressive forehead.
Yeah.
What will the new map be? So it's going to be military base. It's going to be it's going to have fixed gun emplacements, dynamic extracts, and that's really all we know. A scav boss with maybe some raiders.
There you go. That's a good burnout in games. How do we overcome burnout in games from Stevis?
That So, Bert, if I can touch down on that one, because that's a big thing that I do with my stream. As far as burnout in games, this may be different from a streamer aspect, but I always try to engage with my community. There's days where, you see streamers do it all the time, viewer raids and everything, but even that can become stale. Willer, one night, I've done it with Slush as well. We'll get on one single server and tell people, you know what, we're going to allow you to stream snipe us, but you can only do this or that. We'll make rules. We'll give prizes, stuff like that. And you change the game. You turn the game into something else. Stream sniping with Taz's and, the communities come together and get in 5-man groups. And it not only is, that fresh and something new and engaging for the streamers to work together on, but the communities are also meeting each other and networking. And it's something that's really fun. It's refreshing to do things like this and find new ways to approach a game, especially something as far as Tarkov. That's generally hardcore. You're encountering, really sweaty people who give a shit about the pixels, in their inventory and brag about, I always give shit to people that come in salty. I say, do you brag about this at the bar on the weekends and try to get pussy?
Yeah, but you got to flex that EP, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wills. That's
oh,
get out of here. Shut up. Not even.
Fresh from me is playing with other people. Like playing with new people and seeing their style of the game, like completely changes it for me. That's one thing that I like to do is like change up who I'm actually who I'm running with makes a huge difference to me.
I always bring the reference point in as besides maybe Willers and Voxi, like Kings, Slush and I, when we grew up, my parents would kick me out of the house, say don't come back inside, and I literally would just have like whatever the fucking outside gave me for entertainment. So we had to make our own fun. And I feel like Tarkov's a bit like that. So, yeah, I got given a stick and a rock and then or a ball and I had to hit the ball with a stick. And it's like, that is it. Like, that's my fun. And so we actually create our own fun playing Tarkov, which that's where some of the most random ideas come from. Like, we just feed off chat and our ideas and we just do random shit.
Let's like if I could give one piece of advice to new streamers, that like if you want to play with other people and bring like a new energy to your stream and stuff like that, if you feel like you're getting burned out on Tarkov, yeah, you're not gonna go into like Summit's chat and just be like, oh, g'day mate, you want to have a game? Like he's not gonna talk to you. But like look at the person next to you in the streaming thing, like form a community with the people around the same size as you that you can interchange like viewers and cross-pollinate your viewers and have like chats with them. People are at the same level that you can, like if you've got 10 viewers, go and have a chat to all the people around 10 viewers that are coming up, that are taking it seriously, that are taking the same journey at the same time as you, and build your community together. That's how Pest and I got together, both around like 20 viewers, and we see each other and we're like, hey, look, this guy's taking it seriously. Let's hang out. Let's fucking do this. And then got the same sort of layout with like Ghost is like around the same thing goes. So we started talking to Ghost backwards and forwards, and then got Anton and Veritas in the same stuff. So it's like you get that sort of like that backwards and forwards between people that are on the same sort of wavelength.
Yeah, I fell into the same thing, man. Because when I first started streaming, like I basically just started turning the stream on and I started playing games, and I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what a bit rate was. I didn't know what, like, my audio quality is still pretty shitty, you know, like I didn't know what a camera was meant to look like. I didn't have a clue. I started playing games and I was like, no one's watching me. And I'm like, why? Why is no one watching me? And I watched my own streams back and I was like, dude, I wouldn't even watch myself. Who am I kidding? Like, it just looks like shit. And then I decided, like, yeah, like you said, watching other people, I was like, damn, he's doing this. And I really like that idea. Like, his camera, he just looks so natural to watch, whereas mine looks just stuttery and dark. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely critiquing your own work. I don't do it anymore, but I did for so long. I used to have a notepad and pen right next to my stream, and any idea from chat, any criticism from chat that was like constructive, wrote it down. And then after the stream, I'd go through them and see which ones I could change there and then other ones I put on a back burner. That's definitely something that helps. But going back
I
to
think
the burnout side of things, I think between us here, we have a fuckload of hours playing Tarkov, and we still love the game. I think if you don't love the game, you wouldn't be able to play it as much as we do. I think that comes down to it.
But yeah, it comes down to mixing it up, making it interesting though. Like, you know, like you're a solo player, so you're gonna do a bunch of challenges, do something you can do solo. Where like me, Kings and Slush will get together if we want to have like a fuck around moment to change up our streams too. Or me, I do a lot of viewer stuff when I start getting bored with the game towards the end of patches or sub games, that kind of thing. But definitely mixing it up to keep the burnout away is great. I find myself like I don't really get burnt out on Tarkov too much. I mean, when I'm excited for a patch, sure, but just mixing it up because I have my chat to talk to too. Like I'm entertained by just talking to my chat and having a good time, making fragging out or having a laugh, either or, you know.
Yeah, it's hard though when you first start. Like if you haven't got a chat, it's hard.
No, definitely.
Like if you but it's like explaining everything that you're doing while you're going along, like pretending you're streaming to 100,000 viewers is definitely like what you want to be doing. Like you want to be the streamer, you want to be the Shroud straight away. You don't want to be just sitting there in silence, just going like looking at the screen. You want to be talking through, even if you're just explaining what you're doing. Just like,
Yeah.
I'm jumping.
I
shooting.
want to touch down on this. A lot of new people who want to stream come to me and they always ask me, you know, what do you recommend? And I tell them, you know, engagement. And a huge thing, as much as you want to, you cannot watch your numbers. If you watch your numbers as a new streamer, you're just, it's going to piss you off. It's going to piss you off. But as Slush said, on Twitch, you have 30 to 60 seconds to capture somebody's attention. It is so easy just to click on another stream and go to the next person. And another thing that I always tell people, I'll tell you flat out, you're not Shroud. You know, you're not going to be this top tier gameplay. There's always going to be somebody better than you are. And so to combat that, you have to relate to these people, whether it be, you know, with the gameplay itself, use the game as a conversation piece, but then you have to relate to them beyond that, whether it be comedic value or anything like that. Even when I realized this, having 2 to 3 viewers, you're constantly, you have to be talking. You have to get their attention when they come to the stream. As Slush said, talk about what you're doing, tell a story about your day, even if it's to nobody. Because not only is that going to catch somebody's attention when they come in, but once you get to that point where you have the viewers, you are going to retain them, you know, by entertaining them with other things. They're not, and I said this before we started, as a streamer, when you main one game, you make them come for the game, but you make them stay there for you. You have to be different. You have to set yourself apart.
Treat it a little bit like AM radio, whereas like you don't know how many people are listening. You're just constantly talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
it sounds silly, but it's kind of true. Like you just
the view
Well, I
count
can
thing
tell
that
you, if it's AM radio, no one is listening, man.
you call my grandma, no one.
Well, it also like like if you're looking at your numbers while you're streaming, like when I was looking at my numbers, like I used to have my numbers up when I was streaming, and if I dipped, like if I was like at a peak and then I dropped, I'd be like, man, what the fuck did I do wrong? Like, it fucks with your head. It really does.
Spiral.
Yeah,
that's why you put yourself into it's a self-replicating spiral, man. Like if you look at your numbers, if you have a shitty stream and then you come on the next day and you are expecting another shitty stream and you're in a bad mood, you will have a shitty stream and you will spiral. You cannot worry about that.
If you're not having fun, the audience won't. It's not a bad thing to be like, okay, I'm having a bad day, I'm just going to call it here. I've seen every streamer do it. You can hurt yourself more by continuing on that stream and being in a piss poor mood and just not providing actual content than just getting offline and ending it right there.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Like I do the walk away. I just get up and make a coffee and pray that by the time I come back, I'm not so mad at the game. But yeah, definitely ending it is the way to go sometimes.
right.
To be honest, I kind of just grew past the salt of Tarkov, like just Tarkov in particular. Like if I die, fuck it. Like I don't care. Like that's not. I'm here to have fun with my stream. That's mainly what it's about for me now. Back in the day, used to be the biggest tight ass motherfucker. If I died, I was like, fuck that shit, man. I'm pissed. And I got over that quick, man. I think that's important to get over. Just have a good time. You're there for fun. you're not there to, I mean, if you want to frag out, you want to frag out, but don't get pissed off when you can't.
Well, that goes right into the next one of the questions we've been given, which is how do you get over gear fear?
You die a fuck.
Over and
I
over.
honestly think it's have a gun that you love more than anything, and then lose it.
I tell people too. I said the only way to get better at the game is to engage in fights. But be smart about it. It's not Call of Duty, you know. But you're gonna get better at the game, and you're gonna lose more gear in the beginning. But as you engage more and start putting yourself in those situations, you're gonna start dying less and less because you're gonna become more comfortable. You're gonna learn the mechanics of the gun, the recoil, everything, what certain attachments do, how you like to play. You need to engage more because if you're just running a hatchet or a pistol constantly, you're not going to know how an AR shoots at long range. You're not going to learn the bullet drop or anything like that. So you're going to die more. So just engage, have fun. At the end of the day, it's a goddamn game. You know, that's why we have wipes and everything. So we can all, you know, learn this and test the game and everything. And it doesn't matter. Just have fun, go into it and have a good time.
I took a play out of your book too, Kings. Someone came in my chat. They're like, how did you get over gear fear? I'm like, I'll show you. By just dying. So I think I had like an eye case of me in labs and I was fully geared and some shit. I blew myself up. I'm like, that's how you get over it. You die. Oh well, you got new gear. Go have fun. That's the point.
I did that. Someone came and asked me once, and I just deleted absolutely everything out of my stash.
It's.
I think the getting too used to the fact of dying and accepting the fact that everyone dies, which is pretty much what you guys are all saying right there. And then on top of that, knowing a way to make money. So if you can get both of those, then
that's the key one.
That's it. So like I've got a couple of money runs I like to do. Everyone has ways how they make money in Tarkov. And once you know how you can make money in Tarkov and you know that everyone dies, once you get those two together, I think you never really, like, you have fear of losing the fight, but not fear of losing the gear now. That's what I'm at.
Yeah, I think like if you look at it, a standard high tier kit will cost anywhere between 700k and 1,000,000 rubles, depending on how bally you're going. If you can get yourself a nice money run, even Shoreline, you can do a very safe money run where you'll come out with 500k rubles. If you can work that out, you know that you're only 2 runs away from being big juicy again. That's all you need to know, and then the gear fear is gone.
Yeah, I remember I had that Christmas 2017 M4. I remember looking at this M4. I'm thinking, I don't even know what's on that M4, but this thing looks like I don't want to touch it. I don't want to use it. I was like, I don't know what to do with it. I sat on it and sat on it and sat on it and sat on it, and then eventually Nikita took it from me. And then I remembered, I was like, you know what? I wish I used that damn M4 because I used to use Vepers, and I was like, fuck, man, I just wish I had that M4 and wish I used it. I remember getting it the next wipe and then taking it out too early and losing it and being really mad with myself. But then I was like, you know what? I've started learning Shoreline. I could just buy another M4. But dude, I could buy 10. I was like, I could build them the way I want. What am I doing? And then, I just started. I was like, what even? The Christmas M4 is nothing, really.
Well, here's homework for chat. If you want to learn how to go no gear fear, next wipe, if you're EOD, go out with your Fort and Kiver on and your Christmas M1 and your eye case in your backpack.
And you're and get one tap by the guy with the Mackie,
Yeah.
No, the Vepper Hunter scab is what happened to me, man. I got a harsh introduction.
Oh, I actually got molested by 4 dudes with fucking PMs when I did that this wipe. Naked dudes, man.
There is one thing I will say. I always tell people this when they ask about gear fear too. Don't play like most streamers. Most of us are idiots and we're there to entertain and, create content. Like Pest is a very good player. He plays solo a lot. He does very well. A lot of people play very differently, but if you know me / Willer, don't jump into a raid and try something just because you see us do it. Don't go jumping off the top of fucking Shoreline trying to get a kill on a hatcheter. We're there at some point to create content. We're doing things just to make people laugh or see something new. And that's with the map knowledge and everything and the gear fear and learning the game. Find out what you're comfortable doing. Don't try to imitate everybody else and what they're doing on a stream.
But do you have if you're a player by yourself, you have a gift that we don't have, is the ability to sit there and wait. I can't wait
Yes.
because every second I'm waiting is boredom. If I sit there for 2 seconds in camp, I just start looking at chat and then I just die to chat.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's-
if you're aspiring to lower your survival rate, definitely watch Slush Puppy. I mean,
Guys,
guys, he dies in
play
ways
with
you
him,
wouldn't
or
understand.
play with. I think I
Yeah, or
died
play
3
with him,
times
yeah.
last night trying to save his gear.
Like, I'll be completely
happens.
honest with you, it's just playing. Like, honestly, I feel like a VIP, and I sit there with Slushy, and I'm like, you know what? He's gonna die to some bullshit, and I'm ready for that. He's just gonna die. He's gonna fall over at any second now, so I'll just build my next kit, and I'll be ready.
Yeah.
Just hug an aid
It
as soon as he
does.
dies.
We're getting fed a lot of questions, so I'm going to move on from this topic. This one's going to go a little bit more back onto the streaming side of things, but can you tell us how it goes from streaming to creating content? What exact software is good to use, and what should we stay away from? So we'll touch the first part of the question first, which is, can you tell us how you go from streaming to content creation? And the very early days, I'm pretty sure I said this to Slash, and I think you'll remember it. He goes, "You've got to be a streamer that games and not a gamer that streams." All right, because if you're just a gamer that streams, like, you are just there playing games. But if you're a streamer that games, you're there to entertain, and it's such a very small thing, but it's so true.
It's a good
That's well
mantra.
put. That's well put. Yeah, that actually is really well put.
Kings is like, just touched on it before, like, we're there to entertain, so we do that risky stuff because even if it fails, you guys say, haha, you guys suck, you died. You know, and it's still you guys
It's
laughing.
still funny though.
You know, whereas with content creation, it's a constant battle for content, and so we're always thinking of new ways to create content and be not just streaming games, but making content. I'll let you guys go on up from that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I work myself into a bit of a rut with Tarkov, and that's really easy, especially when you haven't seen any sort of content since labs. But then you got to understand too that sometimes people just enjoy yourself if you're having fun, and if there's no fun being provided to you, then you just need to start exploring different options. Like, as a streamer, you start to realize what your options are, and it's not just meme guns, because you've probably done every meme gun under the sun. In fact, if someone makes me a meme gun and I haven't used it 3 times, I'd be surprised. But
Use a Taz.
use a Toz. Have you ever considered the Toz? But I mean, look, you've just got to have fun. You just got to do stupid shit, because you will burn out on Tarkov. Everyone does. Like, and at the end of the day, like Pest was saying, you're not just a gamer. Because when I game, if I'm not streaming, dude, I don't say anything. I just sit there in this zone. I'm not even remotely entertaining. I just sit there, just don't say anything, just head down and game. You know, it's completely different.
It's like my chat enjoys to see me when I go try hard. Because when I started, I was a good player at a high survival rate and all that. So then I just stopped caring because I realized, look, this isn't fun to watch, you know, for a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of people who do that, the best of the best. But no, like, chat loves when I just shut up and I go try hard and I get pissed off because there's a team of 5 sitting in, you know, 3-story dorms on customs. But when that happens, you know, it's you know, a minute or two of content where it's good gameplay, but I say nothing to my chat and they're completely fucking ignored. And I can't stand that because I've always been so interactive with chat. And it's about finding that balance. It's about finding that balance between the two where I hate calling it a demographic, finding your demographic and catering to what they want to see and everything. But finding a balance and keeping everybody happy and entertaining. But you have to realize that too much of one thing can be a bad thing.
Yeah. The way I look at it, you're not Shroud. Every message that you miss in chat while you're playing the game, like, it's different in like a podcast here. We can't read every single thing. All we do is read it. But if you miss a message in chat, you should consider that a loss, in my opinion. That's how I look at it. I know, like, not everyone can do it. If you're sitting there with like 2K viewers, it's a completely different story. But if you're starting out and you've got like 4 viewers and you're missing chat, then you probably need to focus on chat more. That's my opinion, because Like they're your viewers. They want to engage. That's the difference between this and daytime television.
Well, interacting with
You-
chat, like we talked about before the stream, I was saying like that builds a relationship. So your slow burn to your stream, your stream build up. So like talking to chat and building those relationships. Like, one guy comes in one day, then he comes in the next day. You're building those relationships. Like having interaction is so important. It's so important. Do your
Yeah.
absolute best to talk to your chat.
All right. And we'll go quickly into the second half of that question just because we're already on it, which was what exact software is good to use and what should we stay away from? It's not really software, but I would stay away from anything that's like, you won't really get it until you're on about 30 viewers. But I got smacked with so many like, put this extension on your stream and you'll get an extra 30 cents when someone does a tip. Like, it's just like anything that just detracts from your stream or your content.
That follow for follow shit. If you focus
Oh
all
my
your
God.
attention on
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that, the
Yeah.
follow for follow shit, like Twitter growth, like retweeting each other. The only people that are doing that is everyone like you. They don't want to watch other streams. They're just trying to get their own fucking stream going, man. So they don't
Somebody-
give a shit. So
Somebody asked me earlier. I won't say who it is, but another streamer asked me earlier about like stream teams and such. And I said, like-minded individuals, it's a really good idea to get together, but I'm like, it's got to be like-minded individuals. It's got to be for the right reasons and everything. But one thing I told them not to do, I didn't really get into that. I said, make sure if you're on a stream team, it's not just a host farm. If it's a host farm, all you're doing is swapping your viewers back and forth. It's not networking. It's not growth. It's none of that. That's the same with the follow for follow and the lurk for lurk and all this stuff. It might boost your numbers a little bit. It's not helping you grow whatsoever. It does nothing for you in the end.
And I think another important thing is don't basically do this. I'd be like, hey Slush, how are you, Slush? How's the stream, Slush? All right, well, I'm off to start my stream. Catch you later, Slush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
self-promotion.
no
that low-
one,
yeah.
It all
no
comes
one
under
has
stream
ever
etiquette.
once clicked on. No one has ever once clicked on someone's name and thought, "Fuck yeah!" Like that
Yeah.
just doesn't happen.
By the way, I am live right now too. So.
I could literally write. I could have 2,000 viewers, and I could say I could have someone come into my chat, like an old family friend or something like that, and be like, "Hey man, go follow Jimmy. He's the fucking best." I guarantee you, if he gets one follower, I would be fucking surprised. It just like shout outs like that. Shout outs from the streamer alone. Unless I sit there and talk for like 20 minutes about how amazing this guy is barely even like sends over like 2 people for a follow and isn't going to send over like fucking 20 regular viewers. How do you think a message in chat is going to do?
I'd also
It's-
say that you don't forget people that do that. Like the moment someone comes in and they start doing that to you, you're like, oh, it's that guy again. And it's not that you hold resentment for him. It's just like self-promotion is a shitty thing to do. Like, especially when it's not called for.
I don't. We kind of went off topic a little bit, but to wrap that up, really, it's self promotion doesn't work. So you're wasting your time. You're 100% wasting your time. People will see it straight away. My chat will just rip on people that do that.
Yeah, mine's the same
Yeah.
way.
And
Yeah.
it's,
Don't ask for hosts either.
If you ask for a host, you're never getting a host.
yeah.
That's
all right. So
It's the same with everyone.
Jay Murder asked that question. He actually was aiming more on on the software side of editing as well. I use Adobe Premiere Pro. It is expensive, but
It's worth it.
It's worth it with the Photoshop and Illustrator and everything else you get
It's
with
like
it.
30 US a month. You can pay monthly.
Yeah.
It's so much easier than like Sony Vegas and stuff like that. It's like you're not gonna have the like special effects. Like you're not gonna be able to put explosions and shit on you and bloody flying willies all over your screen and stuff like that, like you can with After Effects. But it's if you just want to cut clips and make yourself a montage, the Premiere Pro is awesome.
All right, so we're going to move back onto a new question. So what can the devs do to increase the plays in maps towards the end of a what? I was thinking eliminating some of the extra servers.
Yeah, I had an idea for this. So, look, I play Tarkov probably more than anyone should. I'm not Pestily because I actually still breathe air. And quite
You
sure
don't have a
that-
docking pod. That's the difference.
Yeah, see, Pestily charges and I sleep. But if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I think the late game, I need a reason to log on And I know you guys are gonna be like, dailies, but like I'm not saying do dailies, but in a way, I think they need to expand masteries in weapons to give you rewards. So if I was to log on weekly and I hit max mastery on the M4, and there would be like, get 50 headshots on interchange, and you get like a urban DD pat for your M4 or something like that. I don't care if it's like basic ass camos. I don't care if it's like unlock max mastery to get like a kill count or something on your stats on your gun. I just need, like, at the end of the day when I've done every quest,
Need a reason.
inevitably I need a reason to log on every week, because it doesn't matter how much they do or add, I will get that done. I will max it. And if I don't have a reason to log on week by week, it doesn't matter if Nikita adds 150,000 AKs. I'll probably use them all, but if he doesn't add a reason, I won't want to log on. Late
One
one.
thing that I've touched base on this a few times in the past months, as far as them, because they're always trying to drive the the player driven community. One thing that I think would go far and work very well, I think right now it's too easy to unlock everything in the game. Instead of having 4 tiers, loyalty levels for each trader, there should be like 10, and more quests should make it so you have to choose who you turn them into. So you literally can't unlock everything in the game. You have to say, hey, I like using the AK variants, whatever gun you use, want to pick and choose. So you have to go down this route to unlock it and turn the quest in here. But by doing that, you understand that you're not going to be able to unlock some of the other things. It's one thing that I've always wanted, I've always pushed for. Something I think would be a good asset to the game. Now, being said, I know with the wipes and everything, people have families, people have full-time jobs. You're not all full-time streamers like us. You can't play as much as us. So being said, that's going to help with the flea market. It's going to help with the flea market. And people are like, oh, they're just going to sell everything then at a higher price. Maybe, yeah, maybe. But hey, you're going to unlock something that they can't buy, and you can boost up the price for that as well. And that's going to help the player-driven economy. But as far as late game, I think after you get so far, there should be another one. Once you can't do anything, for the full-time streamers, the people who play more than the other ones, they should open up that new set of quests that lets you continue and start to unlock the other things. Make it a bit harder quest, something that you have to dedicate more time to instead of just going into one raid and grabbing an item and bringing it out. Entertain harder quest and things that people who are at end games, so they can do more. But like I said, that's not something that they could just throw in and implement tomorrow. That would be something down the road. And I think that starts with the different loyalty levels, adding multiple tiers to each trader rather than just having 4 and everyone having access to everything. If you want a player-driven economy, I don't believe that everybody should have access to everything, because then they could just go buy it directly from the trader and not have to deal with the other players in the flea market and the economy itself.
I've touched on this idea before about, I think it's in Battlefield. It's like if you want to unlock, so you make 95% of all items available from just leveling to like whatever level and getting the rep up. The last 5%, which is the top tier of items. So I'm talking, instead of it being like 6% recoil reduction, it's like 6.5 or 7. So it's not even that big a deal. But you have to now get like 400 headshots with an M4 to unlock that one M4 mod. And then once you've got that,
well, that's like League of Legends style.
Kind of, yeah. So then that way, once you've unlocked that attachment, then you can purchase it, sell it on the flea market, and you could have that for every gun. But you have like 1 or 2 top tier items for every gun, which makes it almost impossible to do them all unless you really fucking went all the way out of there. And it's not really going to, like, it's not game breaking. It's not like, oh my god, he's got the one attachment that rules them all. It's like the sword of 1,000 troops. Yeah. It's not that kind of shit. It's just well, it's like the red handguard and the red tube. If you lock those behind like a really hard unlock, I think that's fine. I think that's cool. Like as much as we can complain about like a lot of people say, oh, that ruins the game for like non-hardcore people. It's like it doesn't matter what you do, man. There's always some John every bloke who pisses in Mountain Dew bottles is going to play more games than you in his mum's basement. You can't possibly.
I'm in my dad's basement.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's always going to be someone that plays more than you, man. Some dude that operates on 3.5 hours sleep and lives on Red Bull. Like, there is no such thing.
One thing I want to touch down. I seen somebody. I think his name was Escape in chat. I seen FX9 Escape. He said it sounds way too grindy. Enough grinding. This game is about grinding, and like that's what I was saying. Not enough people, or excuse me, not everyone can put the playtime in as full-time streamers and everything. And I'm fine with that. It's a hardcore game. It's a hardcore game. There's people that want that, and it's really hard in a game like this to appeal to everybody, to the casuals, to the hardcore players, to people that aren't good at the game and all this stuff. And I can completely respect his point of that's too much grinding and everything. I'm not trying to knock him or downplay his opinion or everything. I respect everybody's opinion. But I think as of right now, on the basis of to keep more players around at endgame, they need to implement something that drives the players to get to the end game and then stick there. Something that happens at the end game, and that's what I was talking about as far as the progression further with quest and unlocking more items. Pestily, that was a great point about 400 headshots and stuff. Some people don't want to do that, and the reason that makes sense. Normally, I'd be against something like that, but the reason that makes sense, and you made a very valid point, is it's not something that's game breaking. It's not something that's going to give you a clear cut advantage.
It could be cosmetic, dude.
Player.
It could literally be the same fucking part with the same recoil reduction, but it's just got a fucking different skin on it. Like
That's what I'm saying, man.
Doesn't
Basic
even need to
sprays.
have. It just doesn't even need to have like any extra abilities. It could literally just be a slightly darker M4 or a slightly tanned M4.
And
just give me an M4 with like 3 green lines on it. Like I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not against that, because that's just something for the end game for somebody to work towards once they start getting bored. One thing that I do when I get bored is I use guns that I'm not used to, that I don't like. I use guns that people consider bad. There's so many times this past wipe that I fell in love with a Saiga 9 silenced with a hammer on it. You just go out and fight 5-man teams. Because you're not used to using it. It trains you to get better, take your time, get headshots, get in a good position, and just play out of your element. Also loot boxes.
Also loot
boxes.
Like also too, maybe an opportunity to like, because I'm going to keep pushing this idea, because I honestly that's what I want to see, but we'll see. But I still think that if you hit max mastery, maybe unlocking a blueprint for a certain skin for your gun. Like it doesn't have to be something from COD like diamonds shining. Like I said earlier, I don't care if it's 3 green lines, but if you give me like a blueprint that I go collect spray paint from X maps to put it on my gun, I don't care. I really don't care. Just give me something. It sounds trivial, but I need a reason, just something to look for each day or a week. After I've
and make them rare as fuck. So then when you do find them, you're like, fuck yeah,
yeah, man. Like a flex having this like tan M4 like actually sprayed up. I don't know.
I think we've hit that topic pretty well. It's about the idea of just making that content that doesn't really affect the game in great aspects, but just makes it so people can play it for longer. Effective game. All right, so moving on. So would you suggest a Tarkov streamer to put active effort into his YouTube career as well, or just focus on Twitch and then use the clip highlights or such sorts to widen his viewer base? We'll put it out to Willa, because I know you've been making YouTube videos for a while, Willers. And
well, actually, I was kind of slacking with the whole YouTube stuff, man. Like I like that's the one thing I hate that. Like I used to be so inspired to make YouTube content. And for some reason, man, like with Tarkov, like I feel like it's all been done, and like I want to make quality stuff and not like quantity stuff. And quantity is great, right? Because if it's great information, it's great information. But for me, man, like I love doing I like going back to my roots, because like I got involved with Battlestate back in the day, being a game capture artist, so doing photography and video. That's what I got hired on to do, and as well as Bohemia. So I like doing like pretty stuff like that. Like that's my go-to. I'm trying to actually get cranking on more YouTube stuff, more highlight things of my stream, to promote my stream. But I definitely think YouTube is super important to grow. That's one thing. One of the next things I want to grow on. Like, I mean, like for example, Pest, like that if Point 12 was a movie trailer that I showed you that I asked for permission for your clips to use. Like that was totally inspired, but I wanted to make that. Like that's a example of what I think was quality. Like that's my hardest thing, man, is splitting between the two of those. But I just grind my stream every night, man, mostly. But I want to get going on the YouTube stuff heavily.
Do you think it's required to grow on Twitch though?
No.
Because I have like 30 videos on YouTube, and mine's just being on almost every single day and just wanting to be on this platform, and cross pollinating my viewers with King Slush, building these great relationships, all these awesome streamers on Tarkov, and just doing my thing, man. I definitely think doing YouTube, the more promotion you do on different platforms is very beneficial to your brand. Having Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, that's super important. And that's one thing that, like, there's a reason you're at where you're at, dude. Like, Pest, because you are one of the hardest working I'm not trying to kiss your ass, but you are like, out of most Tarkov streamers, you're like, I'm gonna kiss your ass right now, bro. You are one of the hardest working content creators on Tarkov, dude. You're grinding, bro. You wanna be here. Like, and it definitely shows.
Crazy.
He dogs.
People ask me to
sleep. I'm telling you.
People are always like, Kings, how do you do all these long streams? I'm like, what do you mean? Go look at Pest. Like, what the fuck? I'm doing a 24.
Yeah.
Pest is up to like 82 hours in the past 4 days. And he hasn't
he's gonna
slept
rock
yet.
a 60 hour on point 12. Like, it's coming. Like, just wait. And then 6 more videos the next day.
The YouTube thing, like the way I flag and fail on YouTube very hard, because I start out on I stream as long as I want to stream, and then I'm like, okay, I'm tired now. I want to do what I love doing, and I don't really enjoy editing YouTube that much, and so I push it aside. It is incredibly essential in my opinion. Like, you look at, okay, me and Pest started it like within 20 days of each other, and the dude has 100,000 followers and I have 40K. There's a big difference, and in my opinion, Pest's big difference is his, well, one, work ethic, and two, YouTube. YouTube is a massive part of why Pest is very successful.
I want to kind of just dial this question back a little bit, because Will was saying about how you don't need to have YouTube to grow. I'm going to put this question to Kings right now. If you had to start today in Tarkov, 0 viewers, no followers, could you get to where you're at without any external? Because this is the reason why I'm asking that question, is because I feel like a lot of us here grew with Tarkov.
With the knowledge I have now, or with no knowledge whatsoever?
Oh, you could have the knowledge of the game, I guess. Yeah.
With the knowledge I have now. Oh, no. I mean, as streaming. Yes. Yes, I think I'd still grow. I think I could switch when I switch games. I main Tarkov, but when I switch games, I generally retain about 90%. That's going back to the thing: bring him in for a game, keep him in for the personality, for the character, for the entertainer. Being said, though, especially now compared to when I started streaming Tarkov, there are hundreds of people who stream Tarkov now. It would be a lot harder now than it used to be before. When I started before, that's when I try harded and shit. I think so.
The way
yeah.
I think about it, man, like, if you think of it like when the car was first invented, there was T-model Fords. You could roll out with a horse and cart and keep up with it. These days, there's a lot of big streamers here. You got to be thinking, I got to keep up with the Ferraris now. Like, yeah, if you are coming into streaming Tarkov now, you could probably go at a lower sort of level when you first came in, because there wasn't so many streamers. But if you're not putting out something that has equal or higher quality than what the best people are doing at the moment, then you're probably not going to grow as fast as, say, we grew with the game. You will you can still
gotta
grow.
have content.
Yeah,
you gotta be different. Yeah.
Talking about YouTube, right? When you use YouTube, you're already searching something specific, so you're already searching something niche, unless obviously you're browsing through your homepage. But Twitch, people are lazy, right? You click on a game and you just don't really want to scroll all the way down to the bottom. So I feel like when you separate YouTube and Twitch, you got to understand that you may grind as hard as you want on Twitch and you can grow naturally. But if you want to bring people in a way that's less competitive, find some content that hasn't been reached and then do it on YouTube, because you will reach a niche of people that don't have to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Like, they'll see you and they're like, you know what? This guy's videos are actually pretty good. Like, maybe I'll pop in. And you see people like Harris Heller or like other big YouTubers, gamers, careers, all that. There's a reason that they put in bigger numbers, because they literally are just branching out and bringing in people that don't scroll all the way down the bottom.
So, okay, so if we're not using, like, YouTube obviously is a good way of bringing people into a stream. Like, trust me, you don't need to trust me. You fucking just know it is. But if you weren't using YouTube, like, do you have TV in your name, Voxi?
In Tarkov or
Tarkov, yeah.
yeah, I do.
If-
Twitch.
Do you guys think that the whole like, I have no problem. I'm just straight out. I have no problem if someone has TV in their name. I think, oh, cool, fair enough.
That's,
He's a streamer.
that's how I met all my viewers.
The thing that I bring up when people bitch about that is I say, if you're driving down the interstate and you see a fucking billboard for a sign, you know, showing somewhere to eat, I'm like, are you not gonna go fucking eat there because they're advertising somewhere? You know, like I don't see the issue with it. I used to have it in my name. I don't anymore. I used to have it in my name though. I have zero issues with it. I think the huge problem that comes behind that, is fucking idiots who just jump on a fucking bandwagon, and I'll call you that when you do that. You don't have a fucking, you know, a reason to back it up. But it's the thing that hurts it the most for people who actually use it in their name and use it for a good reason. Is the people who have it in their name and they don't even fucking stream. They don't even stream.
That's what I was gonna say too.
That
annoys
me. That annoys me. But
it's on these goddamn emotes.
But besides that, I have zero issues with TV or TTV or anything in anybody's name. It's smart marketing.
Yeah, but if your name is XL_MLG360 interswap off Rust 1v1 me only at TTV, no one's gonna search your name up. And then if you go in there, and your screen quality looks like Minecraft, but in 160p. Like,
well, I do. Being said, I do want to say one thing that you just mentioned, that if you want to stream. Don't make fucking excuses. You don't need the production quality of Pestyly's YouTube. You don't need Beard's, or excuse me, Slush's fucking beard.
I just interrupt here. My production quality is the bare minimum. Like, I would like. I got to a point where I could make a YouTube video and I just stayed there.
I should say
fair
ethic.
TX. Fair TX.
I should say ethic.
Yeah.
But you don't need to do what Pest does to start streaming. No, it's fine. I'm sorry. I'll just finish.
Well, you don't have to be.
If you want to stream, just jump into it. Yeah, just jump into it. Start streaming. Have fun. That's what it's all about.
You can go back and look at like the quality of my stream when I first started. It was so shit. Like, you learn as you're going along. You need to learn, and the only way you're gonna learn is by doing it. Like you're not gonna learn by just doing that. Yeah. Don't get analysis paralysis. Just start. Just go, hit go, and then build it as you go along.
So
that's one thing.
5 months.
Just said.
I did 5 months of. I wasn't consistent. I wasn't doing anything special. I had no YouTube, but I was learning. I was just like, I'll stream this day at this time, and I'll do this and this, and I was just learning every little thing, stream etiquette, the different things to do, and I've made some fucking blunders in my streaming career. I can talk on them later if you want, but like. All those things are all about learning. And then when I did actually want to take it serious, then I used all those skills and knowledge that I gained over that period to actually do it properly. Anyway, sorry, Kings.
No, that's fine.
Cold
Blood mentioned when I started streaming, I didn't even want to fucking stream. I can't stand people. People see how big of a dick I am in stream. You meet me in person, I'm going to be the same fucking way. I had one of my viewers that I didn't know. He actually lived in my town. Never met him. He subbed to me for like fucking 20 months. Finally found out who he was. The first time I seen him, he waved at me and I gave him the finger and kept fucking driving. I did not want to stream when I started. But you just, if it's something you want to do, don't worry. Don't think about end game immediately. Jump in. You don't even know if you're going to fucking enjoy it. It's Yo Ali right there. Like, he can verify. You just jump right in. You jump right in and you do it. You try to have fun. Do not go into streaming thinking, I'm going to do this full time. The first piece of advice I'd ever offer to you is about full streaming is like, don't fucking quit your job and just start streaming and say, hey, I'm going to do this. Make sure you actually fucking enjoy it. Make sure you enjoy doing these things. You don't know. There's a lot of people, you may have a lot of fun streaming, but you're not the guy you might not have the personality to go beyond 4 or 5 viewers, which are your friends, which is fine as long as you enjoy streaming and enjoying what you do.
But if you wanna change that and you wanna learn and build a character or something like that is something you can learn, but you have to put in effort.
Yes, it's a lot of work. It's not all these guys can vouch. It's not pushing a button and playing a game.
Yeah, but also, like, you got to also bring apart the thing that when you say I'm streaming, you're not. Let me just rephrase here. You are not a different person when you're streaming, and if you are, you're going to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
But you've actually got to be literally a different person when you stream. Like, I'm myself, but I'm a more energetic and more entertaining version
You've
of
got to be the
myself.
best you.
Exactly. Like, when I start streaming, I could be myself, but being myself could just be sitting there quietly playing video games, being a nerd. Like,
That's one thing I
Yeah.
learned too with like streaming is you want to be the best when you get on stream. Like you want to be the best mentality, that kind of thing. So like if you only could do 4 hours that day of being your best, only do 4 hours of streaming that day. Like only do as much as you can to be like your best self. I think that's super important too.
That's what I was saying before. If you're not having a good time, neither is stream. Also, I just want to thank you guys for pointing out that you have to be your best you. And as you said that, I went over my character traits while I stream, and I'm not feeling great right.
All right, we'll move on to a new topic. Do you guys think all the sweaties coming back for point 12 will cause problems for new players who are starting at the patch?
Every new player has an issue starting out in the game. It doesn't matter if the sweaties are around or not. Every new player can't even get past the scavs, let alone get to the sweaties. It's all a learning experience.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we'll be seeing that one for fucking days.
I love that they throw in like that though.
Yeah. I've been working on this quest for 3 days now, and I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, I just run up there with a hatchet. I'm like, it's a fucking shooter, you idiot. Take a gun and take your time. You don't have to get there immediately.
Yeah, but it's like army training, man. They just flush out the weak. And then I love how the Russians just like, you go in middle of construction and you die to random scav on roof. Who cares, friend? You die constantly. You want to leave game? Not our problem. You already bought game. No refund anyway. But I love it because it weans them out. They're like, damn, that was such a hard feeling, but I got that damn watch, man. I love this crap.
And I think that's a really good point Voxi just made. For me to get the same thrill out of this game as I did when I was new is like so much harder. So like when I was new to this game and I got the bronze pocket watch quest, I'd get back to the end and be like, fuck yeah, I did it. Like, you'd be like, I got past all those fucking sweaty get geared players and you get to the end and you get that job satisfaction, that raid satisfaction. Whereas like now, if I get the bronze pocket watch done, I'm like, yeah, another quest done. Let's move on to the next one.
Well, it's like someone saying to me, I get massive enjoyment from walking 3 steps to my kitchen. It's like, but I do that every day. That's not really that interesting, and it's like it's not that hard. But if it's hard for you to do something, then it's worth it, and you've done it. It's different for everyone, but like it's boring if it's easy. You're gonna find it hard.
I always say
if you want to. Let me finish this quick while we're on the bronze pocket watch. If you want to know how to have fun on that quest, go watch Willer's stream and watch him get up on top of that building. And just at the start of wipe on the first day, take your eye case and your kiver in your fort and just go where Willer sits on that map and just shoot all those people doing that quest over and over.
I don't
and just load up on cash. No. I'm telling them to watch where you go and then just go there.
Yeah, I will say the one thing, like just like what Pest talked about, dude, because I've been playing Tarkov since November 2016, man. And like when you first play Tarkov, man, it's this crazy experience. Everything is hype. You get an AK, like fuck yeah, man, that thing's sweet. Everything's cool. Like I envy new guys. The game is extremely hard for new guys. I understand that. But I envy how it feels for you guys. Like everything just feels so amazing. So all the new guys coming to point 12, like I envy you. Like,
well, we're gonna get a little bit of that feeling back. I'm excited.
And what a patch to come into though. Like I started in point 5, and I remember I'd go to Shoreline and it would hard crash my PC. So I mean, come in and they've got their own little customizable crib, and they can put whatever they want in there. I mean, it'd be unreal.
Yeah, back when I started, we only could play factory like that, and customs like ran at 20 frames per second. Like that was it.
To be fair, it's still sometimes
big map.
They run so
big map.
Yeah,
because they locked off the resort. I remember I was like, "What's through this gate?" And as soon as that resort came out, what was through that gate was PC rape. Because the moment they had that resort, man, if someone threw an F1 in there, you need a new graphics card.
I remember playing and hearing an SV98 and just being like grinning ear to ear. I was just like, today's my day. But it's like these days I hear it and I'm like, oh, it's another pleb.
I actually admired people that use the SV. I was like,
Yeah.
I like this guy. What a legend.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. There was a question in chat says, do you think a face cam gives an advantage in streaming? I think that should be a question in a little bit.
I've already
That's a
got
good
it.
one.
I got it on my list. I was literally typing to him right then. I was saying I've got that question on the
Yeah,
list.
I like that one. I like that one.
Yeah.
All right, so
Mine's opposite.
I think we hit that one pretty well. It's going to be hard for some people that are new to the game. Whilst there's all the sweaty guys knowing, like I'll probably have level 40 in the first 24 hours. So like and you guys not gonna even like touch me.
You
But
want to bet?
you're not a new guy.
Oh, that's right. That's not another guy. Sorry, I'm tired, man. I haven't gone to bed yet.
That's all right. I think this one I'll touch on this one first and then I'll go to the second one, which the two different questions, but they kind of link together. This is pretty much better for Slash, and I don't know about you other guys. I don't know your background that well, but what made you guys more consistent when it came to streaming whilst also working a full-time job?
I think it was the job that I had. I mean, I worked at Domino's. It wasn't a job. And at that point, I'd done uni as well, and I was racking up a debt, and I was stressing about what I was studying wasn't what I wanted to do. So I started stress gaming on Tarkov. And then I realized I was actually okay.
Because I know Slash was working
I-
full-time as well.
Well, okay. Well, I'll give a rundown of like how I started and how I got like consistent. But essentially, when I was working in a job, and I was in a team that was just crappy, and I wanted to play games, and I played a lot of CS:GO and PUBG, and then I came across Tarkov, and I didn't have anyone to play with, so I started playing Tarkov and streaming, and I found this started building this community. And as much as it was escapism to walk away from like the job that I hated, I wasn't enjoying that job, and so I put the hours in because I started growing on stream, and I thought this is something that I could probably achieve if I put my mind to it. And so every night I'd come home straight after dinner from 7 p.m. till 2 a.m. in the morning. I would stream. I would then go to work with 4 hours sleep under my belt and do an incredibly crappy job, which for them that sucks, but for me, I don't care. They treated me like crap there, and it was that drive to change my life and do it. And you can look at it as in the same sort of way that you would look at, say, you're working at whatever job you're doing and you want to change career. Say you want to become a doctor, you need to go to university, but you can't stop working. You need to eat and you need to do other stuff. So you're going to study outside of work. That is what it is. Like you will have to sacrifice your personal life if you want to make this happen. I did 18 months on the grind where I spent probably the drive to work and the drive home from work in silence because I was exhausted with my wife, and it killed my social life as well. Like my social life suffered very hard until I made it to full time, and it sucks. But it was at sort of a turning point in my life where all my friends were going out partying nonstop every weekend, and I'm like, I'm turning 30, and I'm not really enjoying partying anymore, and I'm not really enjoying what I'm doing at work. I need to change, so I shifted my career, and instead of going to university, I've already done university. I decided I'm gonna pour my efforts into streaming, and through that outlet, I poured massive hours into it and massive amounts of dedication because I could see that there was something that I could do there that would be able to change my life, and it did. So that's how I gained the motivation. I mean, prepare not to sleep. You will, if you want to do this, and you're working 8 hours a day, and you've got like travel time on top of that and a social life. It's hard. I mean,
It's
I
so
couldn't
much
imagine
work.
trying to do it with kids
So
or something like that.
Slash isn't
Like
tooting
it-
his own horn. Let me put it this way: Slash, every single moment he wasn't streaming, he was either at work, asleep, or working on his stream, and he built up a pretty solid community. Like he was holding around partner numbers, let's say around partner numbers, and then he used his long service. So in Australia, you get after working for 10 years, you get long service. Was it long service, or you just took a month's annual leave?
Yeah, I took a month off. So I had long service leave because I've been at my job for 10 years. So I took the month of May off in 2017. 2018, and I said for this entire month,
You did like 12-hour
I said
days.
to
It
my
was-
wife, I said that to my wife. I said, I'm going to make a real run at this. And she said, are you sure that's what you want to do? I said, look, I've got 3 months leave built up. I'm just going to take a month and I'm just going to run at this. I still have my money coming in from my other job. And by the end of the month, I went from like 40 viewers I got partnered on the last day of the month. And I still remember I put in my partner application on the 31st of May. And by the time I went back to work on the 1st of June, there was like absolutely zero will to even bother going into that job, because I was like, I know I can do this. I know that I can stream because I've proven over the last month that I can grow. I can double my numbers. But
So
it was a strain.
I want to touch on that as a bit of like a safety concern. Now, I would not just be like, take 3 months off work and go stream full time for 3 months and see if you can make a run for it. You're better off actually just trying to just learn all the ropes first before you do a hard run at trying to make something of it, because you're gonna like have days where you're like, I can't get my stream to fucking run good. What the fuck's up with this like bitrate issue? Like, there's gonna be so many little fucking random things that just really, really, really like just random. And then you want to be at
Windows updates.
yeah, and you want to be at your oh, dude, don't talk to me about Windows updates the other day. Anyway,
And you want to be financially secure as well. Like, financial security is the number one. If you have a family to look up, it's fine if like, okay, if you're living at home and you've just got out of school and you want to give it a good run and your parents are supportive, that's cool, go for it. You're in a very unique situation. I'm a 30-year-old dude. I got to be able to pay my bills. I didn't quit my job for 18 months. I worked and streamed. If I had it my way and I was fucking 18 and I was still living at home, there is absolutely no way. The second I got like 10 viewers, I would have quit my job. But I was young, and that's the kind of thing that young people do. They take risks.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
To make that jump. It's terrifying. And like I can't touch base on that because a lot of people know, a lot of people don't. I was put on disability 5 years ago. And then I started streaming everything, and I got to a point I'm actually self-sufficient. I took myself off disability. It's one of the things that I was most happiest about that I've accomplished in life was I'm self-sufficient again. I can do this. I have nothing to go back on. It's not disability. Take yourself off. It's not like, oh, hey, this didn't work out. Let's start it again. Send me a check again every month. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. It's something that takes a lot of work. I see these other streamers, and being a streamer, I realize how much work other people are putting in for this. People who, like Slush said, he can't imagine how people have families and do this. I have my nieces here for a week and a half, 2 weeks right now, because fucking my brother-in-law had cancer and he just had surgery yesterday. So I have my nieces here. I've been running around like a fucking chicken with my head cut off the past 2 days, and I haven't had time to do anything. And then on top of that, this fucking last Windows update just borked my fucking PC, and I've been ripping parts out doing hardware test and everything. And it just did it to me a month ago too. I was pissed. So like after this stream, I'm waiting for my PC to crash at any minute. After this stream, I got to go back and do a fresh install of Windows and rebuild everything.
So I'll put this into the next question because they're very linked to the previous one. How much time do you spend outside of actual streaming on your channel, art, merch, video editing, networking, etc.? I'm actually really interested to hear where Wills, Kings, and Voxi come from, because I talk to Slush about this all the time.
I got skipped last question. I was like waiting for Kings to finish up. I got skipped last question.
Yeah, so Wills, tip both questions then.
Okay, so I'll basically start out. So I was in that unique situation where Slush was talking about, about to turn 19 years old. I'm 18 years old. I'm getting involved with Battlestate games, through Clean, that whatnot. And he got me into, the idea of streaming. So I started dabbling with it, like when I was about to turn like 19 years old. I was also working at a rehab facility at the same time. It was like my first real job, going to school, full time as well, just doing it all. But I like streaming so much, man. Like I saved up. I went to PAX East that next year, and I was streaming throughout that time. Went to PAX East and I hung out with all the Tarkov streamers. And I was like, man, like this, this is where I want to be. I'm young enough to take that risk. I might as well take the risk on something that I love and, fail at it, and not something that I don't like, fail at something I don't like. So I saved a few grand up, man, just to have those, that bills for money. Nothing crazy because I still live at home, right? I have that great opportunity. I'm 20 years old now. And then I just went full time with it, man. Snowball just kept rolling and rolling. Just things kept working out for me, man. Pretty much it for me. I'm in that great situation, just living at home, living it up, enjoying myself, taking the risk while I'm young, and I still plan to go back to school. So
yeah, I guess
it's unique to everyone though. Like I can't give you. It's the same as someone coming and giving you financial advice when they don't understand how much money you earn or like your assets or something like that. It's a unique situation. It needs to be tailored for everyone.
I was yeah, so I was in a very similar situation with Willers too, like still living at home but paying rent 4 ways with my fiance, my mum and my dad. So my rent was quite low. I looked at my cost per living and I remember I first started streaming and at that point I was working actually 3 jobs and I was also studying at uni and I'd actually saved up some pretty good cash. And I remember I first started streaming, and probably what made it possible for me was having that extra income. And because if you want to be watched, you have to be watchable, and you need to make. If you're going to go full time, you need to make purchases for your stream. You need to be watchable. Like I used that money, I like conserved it. I understood like what I needed to get. Priority items was a webcam and a mic, and then I realized that my old i5 could barely handle any sort of encoding. Then it was like i7. But like full-time streaming is not a joke. But you know, if you're in a situation like me and Willers, I'm assuming is very similar. Like your cost of living, you just got to make a jump. Like I'm not encouraging that you do it straight away, but my advice to you, if you are going to do it, buy the things that you need to buy and be ready for when you do it, because you're going to have to start to need that money to live, my dude. It's not just buying PC parts because willy nilly and you're young and I can buy everything I want. You need to
Yeah.
survive now.
Yeah, well,
That
at the
was
time
something
when
that was a hit to me, man. I started streaming and I'd just been upgrading my PC with all my money from all the money that was donated to my stream, and then I was just like, oh shit, oh now I need to pay bills. I probably went full time too early, but it's like it scared the hell out of me, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was great early on for me just because like I didn't have like a lot of bills at the time, but as I started growing as a streamer, I got to tack on more bills. I got to take more responsibilities for getting older, right? So I spent a lot of money on my PCs early on. I got I got the stream PC. I actually earned enough in a month to pick up a stream PC off streaming, and I did that. Spent all the money on a stream PC, and then I had my game PC that I upgraded right before because I was working with Battlestate as well, and then I got involved with Bohemia Interactive in next April, like on April of last year about. Um, and so, but now it's just full-time stream grinding, got the bills. The only thing I don't have to pay for is rent. And that's just because I help my pops out. And he totally supports what I do and my
But-
grind and that kind of thing.
So knowing that the fact that you are now, or we're all reliant on our paycheck from streaming, how much time do you guys put into your stream? Like, go with Will's
If I'm
first.
awake, I'm working on it.
I'll stream about 6 to 10 hours a day. And then I'd say within this last year, I've really been working a lot of things off stream, especially with Black Site, which we have a lot of shit going on behind the scenes. Stream related and other stuff. I just don't really want to go into it on the podcast today. But I'd say about 16 hours a day on stream, and then I'd say give or take anywhere from 2 to 4 more hours off stream.
It's a lot of
Yeah,
hours.
I would probably say, like, because I take probably just after my stream for editing video, but I've been pretty slack until I upgraded to a Ryzen. But I like it's my job, so honestly, I spend every pretty much waking minute that I'm not either at the gym or with my missus doing stuff for the stream, watching my streams back, changing my EQ, or trying to fix my audio, get my picture quality, or fix my recordings, or organize my PC, my stream. Like it's just a mess. Like sometimes you just got to organize videos and brainstorm ideas. Like
I will say once you become a full-time streamer, you never stop thinking about your stream. Every minute is
Yeah.
thinking about your stream. It
Not wrong,
never
man,
stops.
not wrong.
It never
disease.
stops.
I'm getting
It's a
better at it.
disease.
Getting better.
I
When-
can't turn
when-
off, man.
yeah,
I can't
it's
either.
terrible.
I can't do it. I can't do
When I went on my big partner push, I was streaming 12 to 16 hours a day for a month straight. Then after that, it doesn't end there. You look at analytics, you look at all this other stuff. You look at, if you had a bad day, you go back, you watch the VOD, you figure out why people are leaving, what's going on. You have to go back and see what other streamers, what time of day is working, what time of day isn't, what's changing. If you just stick at something and it's not working, it's not going to change. You don't just keep at it. Currently, I mean, like the past few weeks, I had to take a few weeks off for life issues. Then I also have a different issue that most people probably don't deal with, where I got my neurological disorder, and there's times where I'm stuck in bed for 2 weeks. And then I can, if I'm not careful, I can hurt myself coming back. But if I'm on my standard schedule and streaming day to day normally, and I'm feeling okay, with sponsorships, a stream, dealing with a stream team, everything else, networking and everything, 14 to 18 hours a day. 14 to 18 hours a day when you're in your grind mode, and you're just doing it consistently. Even when you dial it back and you try to relax, it's 12 hours a day. It's work, even if you only stream for 8 hours.
So I pretty much am exactly where King's there. If I'm awake, I'm working. I've got a pretty strict work regime now. I get up, I stream 8 hours, I immediately get off the computer. I try to push myself for 2 to 3 hours, but usually I'm back within an hour and a half, and then I'm on the computer for the rest of the night. Unless I actually have something to do, like a life thing to do, I am working. It's either YouTube editing, networking, all the other stuff that you guys just touched on. And it's pretty full on. And particularly in my earlier days, I would sleep 4 to 5 hours a night, and now I sleep 6. I got a solid 6 hours sleep a night now, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
It's if we didn't love what we did, there is no fucking way. And
No.
if you're doing it for the money, it doesn't fucking work. You cannot.
You're gonna fail so quick. You'll
Yeah.
fail so quick.
People can see straight through you, man.
I make sure. So it's pretty obvious what happens with Tarkov, right? Everyone's pretty used to it now. A wipe happens, it's really fucking hot for about 3 or 4 months, and then we're waiting for the patch, the next wipe. During that waiting for the next wipe period, you'll see me stream less. That's where I take days off. I go and do extra stuff. I get out of the house. I'm skateboarding every day at the moment. Like I just make sure I go take those extra hours. I stream 6 hours instead of 8 sometimes. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, a standard day for me, I get up at like probably 7 a.m. and take my wife to work and then come back, and I'll do like stream stuff until around 11 a.m. and then I'll stream for 12 hours, maybe like 11, 10 some days if I'm not really feeling it. And then afterwards, I'll usually work on the stream, like networking. If I'm doing YouTube, I'll put in more hours, but I usually go to bed around 1 or 2 a.m. and then sleep for like 6 hours and then get up. And I usually run through like the entire week, just like getting lower and lower sleep, higher and higher sleep deprivation until Saturday. And then I'll sleep too. I have days off on Saturday to spend with the wife, but I usually sleep till 2 in the afternoon on Saturdays.
You do have to find a balance with everything else in life. I think that's a huge thing that some people don't realize when they try to push for that, to make that jump, not even do a full-time streamer, but just for growth overall. They'll dedicate so much time to it that it takes away from other aspects of life. They're finding a balance to keep everything the way it should be is very hard to do. As Pest Slush said to everybody, you will lose sleep. Excuse me. You will lose sleep over this if you're doing it like this. And it takes a lot of ethic, a lot of dedication. And if you're doing it for the right reasons, it takes luck too. It takes luck. You could be an amazing streamer and never go over 5 viewers just because it takes a little bit of luck as well. But finding that balance and not getting what's called the streamer burnout is a real fucking thing. It's a real thing.
Yeah, because when I switched from partner to full time, I started realizing it was my job. But the truth is, guys, when you work a job, you have time away from your job, and you need to understand that, because like I lost love for hobbies that used to keep me sane, playing drums, going to the gym, spending my time with family, and like I got to this point where I was like, oh my god, it's my job, and then I just like forgot what a job was, and then I was on every single hour doing stuff for the stream, to the point that I started streaming and I was just tired. People would come in and be like, okay, I may as well start playing lo-fi jazz music and make it a resi, like, if you come in here to sleep on your uni or procrastinating. But like, let's be honest, guys, you need outlets like gym, anything that you've got. And like, when you start streaming, especially full time, you need to maintain those, because like King said, the burnout, it's a serious thing.
There's not a lot of hours in the day to do this. It's hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Hardest thing for me is with like, I guess, finding your outlets is I stream late as hell, dude. Like I have like no social life. Like, but then again, all my buddies have moved out of state for college. They're in the military, that kind of thing. When I stream, I mean, Slush, like I'm on at your times, dude. When it's middle of the day, it's middle of the night for me. I'm getting on middle of the night streaming to the early morning. because that's what I like to do. My house is quiet. It's just me. I can be as loud as I want. I'm just on the grind, just doing my thing.
Well,
But
the bonus is we have a very social job, so like
Oh yeah,
we can talk a lot. Like I get like this kind of stuff is social. I mean, it's not outside and it's basically the same thing. It's social.
All right. We've got a lot of questions booked up, so I might just cut people a little bit shorter on these now. We got that one. So what would you say main gaming is better for streaming versus variety stream?
yes, yeah. If you bounce around games, you're not gonna grow as a streamer. That's a lot of streamers you hear say you got to stick to one game at the beginning, and hopefully eventually be able to be variety. But it's kind of hard to be a variety streamer nowadays. It really is. You can't get away with it because
Yeah.
all of us, we play Tarkov, right? We play Tarkov. Maybe if you get off after playing a few hours of Tarkov, having your viewership up high and switching games, you might be able to carry those guys over. But if you start, let's say we start with Call of Duty, right? We're gonna be fucked on viewership that day. We're not gonna get the same growth as we did on another day. Like,
If I switch games, I'll start with Tarkov because that's my main game,
That's
and then
same-
I'll
same,
switch
yeah.
after that.
Yeah, but it's also about playing games that are relevant too. Like I find that if I stick to my category, like you'll pull the same sort of viewership anyway. I think that it's part of being
Yeah.
variety is understanding that
Like
hey,
your
I
DayZ.
didn't start off in
Yeah.
Tarkov, then switch halfway through to Fortnite. Like,
I was gonna say here, Vox is trying to defend Fortnite.
oh dude, Fortnite can suck my dick, man. I have no time for that trash.
Yeah.
Um,
You do have to like I would consider all of us like survival game streamers. If you want to stick in, you want to be playing your 7 Days to Die or like your DayZ, that like survival game sort of stuff. If you're in this kind of zone, but like picking a game is integral to where you can grow your stream. If you pick a game where there's like 5,000 viewers, but it's like one dude with 4,900 and then 20 people with one viewer, then you're not going to grow in that category.
I will say that like playing other games on stream is beneficial for your future, but like that being said, when I guess you have a foundation of viewership, because we won't have Tarkov forever. Like we'll have to move eventually. There'll be a time where we have to leave Tarkov.
and that's I would call that your exit strategy. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually starting a second YouTube channel. I'm actually going to look at building a whole different kind of thing that's like what do you call it, like self-sustainable away from from actually Twitch streaming. I actually want to like
Okay.
to have an adventure side of my life as well. Where I'm actually going to do other stuff. So then that way, if streaming goes to shit, say the biggest fear for a streamer is like I guess would be their account gets permanently banned, bam overnight. Then what do? You know, like we don't have job security with that. Like if we were to get banned overnight, permanently banned, like I'd have my next paycheck on the 15th of this month, and then that'd be it. So that's why I'm actually putting safety nets in other things like a second YouTube channel focusing on adventure and outdoors. So you got to be smart with that, and even with the longevity of Tarkov, we don't actually have like okay, Tarkov gets released and everything's all good, and it goes into like what do you call it when the development stops and it's like maintenance. Goes into maintenance.
I think it's called 11.7.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
And so like yeah, we would have to switch games. So it's definitely something we'll have to.
But if we were switching games, it'd be to something that is of a similar like style to Tarkov, I reckon, because we all have similar tastes in games. But if it's something like say Dead Matter came out and Dead Matter became the new Tarkov, you would probably find most of us playing that. If we enjoy it, that is. Some people will split off and play different things. And,
I think I would play something totally different.
I will.
It was.
Oh, I was gonna say like I will say like because I've known Deadly and Markstrom for a few years now, like back when like we were playing DayZ and stuff, and those guys had a great transition. You know, DayZ was kind of stale, but Tarkov was rising up, so they carried right over just fine. Like that was their out of DayZ. They switched right over games just fine, and now they're even bigger playing Tarkov than they were on DayZ.
Yeah. There's definitely different ways to do it. I'm actually kind of curious about this one. Do you guys plan on what to do in your stream sometimes, as in 2 hours of X and 2 hours of Y? And if you do you focus on not derailing from it?
I try, but it never works out. I go with the flow. If chat's having a good time, why stop and switch?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'll start on Tarkov until I stop feeling it. And if there's two options, either end the stream or switch games sometimes with me. Like, but if I'm feeling it, man, I'll just keep going. 10 hours of Tarkov, like
There's
water off a duck's back. But
yeah,
I'll plan to be like, oh,
there
sandstorm half and half, but then it won't happen.
and even going beyond that, there's been days where I've had viewer raids planned, and something pops up and I'm doing something and chat's having such a good time and I'm enjoying it so much and it's good content that I just say, sorry, we can't do this today. We're going to continue doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
I don't have.
I don't really like to plan.
I don't have a specific.
like
I'm
a
doing
box
2 hours, but like this stream, I'm doing this. And then if it doesn't work, I quickly change to just like, all right, I'll just do raids.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like my long streams, or I'll do meme runs today. Like after this, I'll just be teaching people Tarkov. I'll just be answering questions and helping people out with learning Tarkov. And I'll have a theme for the stream, and that's it. I don't do like mass research on most of mine. But it's yeah, I always have a topic in my mind for the.
When there's a new wipeout, I'll have a topic. I'll be like, okay, today I'm going to pound my quests and unlock this certain person. Or if there's a new gun or a new map, I'll say, okay, today I'm just gonna learn this new map or just use this gun, and then see what it's like. But a lot of the time, like I'll start out and it'll be 2 hours in, and then someone will be like, "Why is your title SA58 gameplay? I've only seen you use a TT." I don't know, man. I'd lose track. I'm a very unfocused person.
But I think the answer to the question is you do need to have an idea of what you're doing that day to just have that little bit of a theme to your stream, or to that little bit of it's the creative aspect. You know what I mean? Creative aspect that's important. So we have that idea. All right, we're going to do these kind of raids today, and that's why people will be attracted to the stream, I guess. This question is going to be directly aimed at Kings. Do you think a face cam gives an advantage in streaming?
I think Kings just said in the chat. Yeah, he said he was taking a piss.
Oh, all right. Well, Willis doesn't have a webcam at the moment, and he said it was a good question. Do you think a face cam gives an advantage in streaming?
Well, I liked it because, like, you could take it two ways. Kings has a great voice, right? His voice sells it, right? But if you don't want to be on camera, I think you gotta have that good voice. I mean, or be an entertaining guy, just chill guy like a Smoke or like a Defect or something like that. But I do know that people love seeing the reaction of their streamer, whether they like have a crazy moment, they want to see facial expressions, or like, they get a sub or a donation. They're like, the reaction is really what people love. Like that's one thing I have noticed. People love reaction.
The two of the biggest Tarkov streamers don't have face cam. Smoke and Anton.
Yeah, with they're great streamers, they're great broadcasters.
I think what you need to take note of is both of them have really clear audio quality. Like if they haven't spent good money on their audio, I'd be very surprised. Like very good audio quality, and Anton particularly, he's feeling his reaction by his voice. He will speak. It's almost like ASMR. It's like everything he's thinking, he's feeling comes out in his voice. Like it's. Oh, that fucking clip where he dies and he's like, Warren! And you know what his face is doing during that.
Yeah. It depends on your style of humor as well. Like if you're a very emotive person with your expressions, like you probably need a webcam. Like you need to be able to self-assess and say, am I emotive in my voice? I for the vast majority have a fairly deadpan shitty voice, but I feel like I'm pretty emotive with my arms and head, so I put that on camera. And
yeah, but you can
Patreons.
Yeah, but Slushy can barely get out of his chair, so that makes sense.
Yeah, true.
Nice. So I don't use it.
Comes to me.
Jesus Christ.
My mom can't get
I went to take a piss, but I seen the message or the question rather about using a face cam. People know what I look like. I used a face cam one day. There's a reason I don't use one. I'll probably be turning it on soon. I always say that, but face cams help. Don't get me wrong, but you just have to be entertaining. You have to be entertaining. Pest made a great point about, excuse me, having somebody as their voice being expressive, being able to see the emotion in somebody's voice where it doesn't seem like they're reading off a piece of paper. So, and I mean, I've had people come in and say, hey, thanks for not using a face cam. And I had people come in and say, hey, I'm not going to watch you because you don't use a face cam. At the end of the day, like, I don't give a fuck, but I'm going to do me. I know it's best for me at the moment. That's what I'm going to do. Do I think it helps? I think it's beneficial. I would always recommend one to a new streamer. A lot of people won't even click on an icon if they don't see a face cam on somebody's stream. Being said, do I think it's needed? No, not if you have the right personality and you know how to entertain and capture somebody's attention.
The things to note with
I mean, it is
webcams
possible.
is generally you need to be like I shower every morning before my stream. You need to be a little bit presentable. It's not attractive to people to go click on a stream and they're just like they look like they're hungover and you know what I'm trying to say.
I feel like this is just a personal dig.
This is a personal thing.
I was just gonna ask why we're taking shots at Batty.
I thought Slush was actually just about to pass out as soon as Pestily started talking.
I've got a really good video of me when I first started streaming, and it's like my green screen is like just like it's like a square around me, and it's just like really, really bad lighting on it, and you could just tell that I might as well not have a green screen, or just had it fully green.
If you can't work out the lighting for a green screen to have it work perfectly, all you need is a Logitech C922 and a green fabric and lighting. If you can't have it work perfectly, like that's all Deadly Slob has, and his works perfectly. That's all I had when I had mine start, and that was perfect. If you can't get it working perfectly, people are not going to like it. So you need to work it out.
You have to. So you want your picture to be clear. If you are using a webcam, you need to actually go to the effort of, in my opinion, looking presentable. And it's like, see how Slush's room looks sick. Mine looks like and Vox's is like a single drawer and a fucking scruffed up door.
Well, I'm a green screen streamer, so it's like behind me there, the Elgato one.
Well, same. But
That's why I changed my room for podcasts, man. I didn't want a green screen anymore because I wanted a nice podcast room.
Yeah, I need to fix mine up, but whatever.
But it's a perfect example. Like Slush's looks sick, mine's and then I would not want to like I don't know. It looks like I don't know, bloody Vox's in bloody El Stewart's dungeon.
Yeah, but we got golf clubs there. Like I mean,
talking point golf clubs. Well, there you go. So
yeah, you got 50 cal thing down the bottom. It's getting there.
You guys get the point though.
I mean, King's rooms looks the best.
Right.
Pretty sure there's a lot of bars.
See my room on my channel.
And people wearing orange, but
I actually have the suction cup dildos in the back wall because I like to rock climb. But after I got that neuro disorder, I can't travel to do it anymore.
I'm really interested with this one as well. How would you all deal with a vacation of some sort?
Well, actually, we talked about this before. Like I don't know, taking extended breaks off, like they're great, right? Like going to like TwitchCon, PAX East, they're awesome because you're going out to hang out with your friends from streaming and that kind of stuff. But like I took a week off one time, right? And I got really hard on myself because when I came back, like I had dropped 500 subs and being a full-time streamer, like holy shit, like that's crazy. So it kind of freaks you out a little bit. That was like when I took like 7 or 8 days off to go on a trip. So it kind of freaked me out a little bit. Like I try not to take long periods of breaks off, not to just freak myself out. I try to like make it like 3-4 days max and then get back to stream and get back on. That's me personally.
But it's weird too, because like I've got to the point where I think I'm actually addicted to streaming. Like when I'm on holiday, it's all I can think about. And like because I'm not very good at talking to people in person. But when I'm streaming, it's so good for expressing myself that I started to feel anxious when I was on holiday. Like I was like, I'm so keen to go back, but I knew that I needed to break.
I was on my honeymoon just before the last wipe. It was meant to drop during the week of my honeymoon, and it got pushed back to the Monday after I got back. And I was on my honeymoon watching the pre-wipe event, and my wife was like, "Put your fucking phone down." Like I was struggling. Like the first 5 days of my honeymoon, I was sweet. I was like loving it. I was skydiving. I was doing all this fun stuff. The last 2 days, I was just like, "Get me home. I want to go home." It's the addiction side, but it's also the fear side of like loss of income and security. And
I just took a whole month off from the middle of May to the middle of June, and before I started doing it, I planned for this for months beforehand, 6-7 months beforehand. and I had enough money to cover my entire earnings for that month that I took off. I had to have that plus the trip because I just went into it with the mentality that I'm not going to earn a single thing with this. I sort of got lucky. I got paid out for my job because I quit my job, and I had enough money to buy a streaming backpack, which I took away with me, and I streamed while I was away as often as I possibly could. But it wasn't. It's nowhere near the amount of the love that you get when you're playing like your regular game or Tarkov. The income was a severe hit to me, but it was like the trip of a lifetime. I wanted to go away. You
Plus,
need
it's
to
needed because when you come back, you're so much more entertaining because you're just enjoying yourself again.
And you've got
So-
stories to talk about though too. Like he's probably
Yeah.
got like he caught up with Tweak.
Yeah.
So he's got like stories to talk about when he met Tweak, and when someone
Yeah.
talks about Tweak in his chat, he goes, "Oh, I met him in did this and hugged and."
But IRL streaming's huge, man. I wish I had that set up because that's what like everyone would have been like, okay, I'm pretty sure Slash Puppy's dead. But like when he was in Europe, he was like IRL streaming and shit, so people knew.
Yeah, I was just trying to like you gotta try and keep your name out there. Like I know that when Pest has taken time off before, he loads up like 50 YouTube videos to post every day and
But-
posts like get on your Twitter, keep in touch with your Discord, like daily posts in your Discord, daily posts on your Twitter talking about what you're doing. That's the whole time I was away. I was like just fucking spamming the shit out of Twitter. Like everything I did got a picture.
So my
Like,
honeymoon
that's-
was 8 days off, and I preloaded 8 YouTube videos to cover it, and then I also did 1 Instagram post per day, and I did 1 Twitter post per day. So and that was like, so I didn't just get fixated on my job. I was actually meant to take time off. It's important to really, when you do have time off, to take time off as well though. But you are right. Definitely keeping in some sort of link to your channel and your community is important. But people also understand as well, like
interaction aspect.
they're not gonna be like, oh, he's on a honeymoon. That fuck it, he just didn't stream for a week.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's the
like,
thing. Like the day I came back, I landed at 9 a.m. in the morning, and I was on stream at 10 after fixing up some food and some stuff around the house. And my stream came through, and like literally the second I landed, I was on for an hour and had like 500 more subs because my stream was just like, holy shit, he's back. But if you did that at a lower level of like streaming, you might not be able to achieve that kind of stuff. Obviously, different strokes and stuff. But
I always
like, I was
preach
establishing the community.
consistency.
Yeah,
Yeah, I always preach consistency, especially as a new streamer, and how easy it is to watch somebody else. If you know you're going to be live and you're continuously not making that stream and not being there, they're going to stop coming to watch because they're not going to expect you there.
Yeah, people
so,
don't
like, how-
remember like your stream times. They just know that sometimes, like, if you're so consistent, they know every time they open Twitch, roughly at this time you're on. And like, people are terrible. You can
Yeah.
tell them your start time a million times, and they probably won't even remember
Yeah.
it. Like some of your real
Every
keen ones
single-
will, but like
every single Saturday, I get probably 3 to 4 messages in my Discord saying, "Why aren't you on?" I take every fucking Saturday off, man. Have for the last 18 months. It was-
will be hungover.
yeah,
Not gonna be there.
yeah, exactly.
all right. So there's a few questions that all kind of link together, so I'm not really sure how to do this. We'll start with this one. Can you bring up what time is it best for new streamers to stream, or everyone's opinion on it? I think I'll touch on what I think. Kings will say exactly what I'm about to say, which is if you want to stream, start streaming. The time of the day does matter, but it doesn't matter as much as you think, and for the same reasons. Like, a good example is when I stream, it's mostly Europeans and Americans watching. When Slush streams, it's mostly Europeans and Australians watching. And then
Because I'm going more early now. It's more Americans now, but it was originally that, yeah.
and so it's more about knowledge of your audience. For me, like, I'm mostly talking to Americans and Europeans, but if Slush was streaming as usual, or where he was streaming mostly in the evenings Australian time, I remember telling him, like, just learn some German words, like, because there's a lot of Germans that watch Tarkov, and at least the Germans feel like they're connected to you. And I think that's kind of important to like know your audience in that respect. But I don't think streaming in specific times is going to help you grow or not grow to the point of like if you can grow at any time. It doesn't matter what time of the day.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people are like, is there a time where I can shove myself in there and there's going to be like more viewers available for the poaching and stuff like that? And it's like, if you haven't streamed before, you don't share viewers with anyone else, so no one on is going to affect you. So this doesn't matter. Just stream what's good for you.
Can I just also say that like how important it is to stream at the right time if you're doing this as a job though? Like for when I first started, I was just streaming hours because I felt like there were hours that I was comfortable with streaming. But then I started to think about like who am I actually reaching here? Like when you start taking it seriously, you start understanding time zones as well. Like you start Googling like different time zones and knowing peak hours and when the big boys start. And it's kind of like it starts off when you first start streaming, like Pest said, King said, anyone who has half a brain or half switched on will say, just start streaming. But once it becomes a job, then you'll start understanding time zones because it's your job to know.
You'll start understanding like I hate the word, but it's the word you got to use, the demographic, how Pest is saying Americans and Europeans. I used to do a split stream with my neuro disorder. It's hard sometimes to keep a schedule, but I used to do a split stream where in the morning I would target people in the US in their office that aren't doing their jobs and they're watching video games online. But hey, I'm all fucking about it. You're helping my day. But at the same time, while I was hitting that audience at the same time, and the UK, it's people getting off of work and kids getting out of school, and then they would come in, and then at night I'd come back at night and I would stream at night for the second part of my split stream, and it'd flip flop. I'd get the kids in the US and I'd get the adults at their office jobs over in the UK. So the time you stream can be important, as Vox said. Once you start doing it seriously, and you want to give your audience the best time to watch, that are generally always there and always waiting for you to go live. But if you're just starting, like Slush said, you do not share your viewers with anybody at that time. You're trying to establish your brand, essentially, your stream. Just get on and do it. If you're thinking about streaming and you're playing a game and you're not streaming, you're a fucking idiot. Just start up the stream. Just start up the stream, and literally just when it's convenient for you is the best time in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, like when like I share viewers with a lot with Pest. We came up together. If I can, there's nothing I can do about this, and I am not going to be like a naysayer of Pest don't stream or something like that. But like if I am on at nighttime and Pest starts streaming, we share viewers. I will drop viewers. Pest, in turn, because we share viewers, will have less viewers at nighttime. If he's on and I'm not on at nighttime, he'll have more viewers because we share people. But there's nothing you can do about that. Like ending your stream because of that is not going to help you. There's no point in worrying about it until it's like the Tarkov sort of like if you have like Tarkov late in this wipe, now it becomes a different issue because like say there's no one massive streaming during my time zone. I can achieve #1 in Tarkov, then that's a boost to my channel and I can get more followers because people always click on the first channel. So it's like it doesn't matter as much as you think it does, but it matters, for different reasons, as Pest said.
There was a point before, and it's exactly what Slush is talking about here. So Red Army said, I was getting 10 to 20 viewers, but once Stomach started streaming this game, I've gone down 2 to 3. Very depressing and discouraging. Now, so with that one, which is really interesting, is at the start of a wipe, you are going to have everyone playing Tarkov. So you'll have Sacriel, you'll have like Smoke will be back, all these massive streamers. Like I won't even be near #1. Like I'll be number 4, 5, or 6. Like
I'll probably be sitting on like 200 viewers, if that, for the entire first month of the wipe.
And everyone's numbers drops. Like Shroud will playing, Summit will playing. There's all these numbers, all these people. So if you are actually you do have an established stream. By what I mean is you've actually got a community. Doesn't matter how small, and they are returning every day. Even though someone like Summit's here, and your numbers will drop, he's bringing new people to Tarkov. And when more people play Tarkov, then the community grows. And it's exactly why this podcast is so good. Like we are all technically a competition to each other, But the way, and I discussed it before the podcast, and they all understand and agree with me, is if we're all helping grow the Tarkov community, therefore Tarkov grows, and then we're all more successful. And it's important that to understand, like, whilst your numbers may drop during the peak hours, being Summit's streaming right now, or right after the wipe when all these big streamers come back, later on in those wipes, where you're still playing Tarkov and they've gone on to other games, your numbers will go up. So I always, like, there's a graph of like how my numbers always fluctuate, and every wipe it's going up because there's more, the community's growing. Tarkov's community's growing, and that's what makes it.
Yeah, but also in a way, when wipe happens, people would rather play than watch. And like, if you are a starting streamer, just know that the closer it gets to wipe, the more people are watching you because they cannot be stuff playing themselves, and it will
Yeah.
just always be that way. Like,
The best time to stream for a new person is now. Like,
Exactly.
as late in the wipe as possible. There's no massive streamers on. There's just so many fucking opportunities to grow your stream right now. This is when you should be doing it.
and
Yeah, I
learn
agree.
the game as well.
Yeah, I know that, like, if Summit's on, it's given a big boost. But like, because he's boosting those stream numbers, now is the time. If you get a stream, like, do it now, no matter what. But
Mm.
it's,
We'll see it with Willers too, because he's pushing for partner, and he's chose a really, really good time to do it as well. Like, Tarkov in its
Well,
current state, everything.
Yeah, he's Summit alone, like, and all these new guys coming, like in growing our community. Like, I was like low hundreds to mid hundreds, and like now I'm almost 200 average viewer streamer, like without hosts or raids. Like, that's just because the community's growing, and I'm growing along with it, which is a great feeling.
Which goes into another point, which was, how do you feel about bigger streamers taking on smaller streamers to help them grow, like running through raids, games, and just helping them in general? So Summit playing Tarkov right now is pretty much right on point of what that is. I'll let the other guys answer first, and I'll give my points at the end.
Well, running with small blokes.
Well, big streamers running with small streamers.
Let's look at Dottie.
I'll say, yeah, no, Dottie's doing great. And I love Dottie as a streamer, and he's handling it very well. At the end of the day, it's still the thing that it's gonna end with is, are you entertaining yourself?
Yeah.
I could play with fucking anybody, and they could be the best player in the fucking world. But if I go to their stream and they don't say anything and ignore their chat or anything, nothing's gonna happen. Playing with them, the host, nothing, shouting them out, nothing's gonna happen. At the end of the day, it's on that streamer to retain that audience. To retain that audience, as a streamer, you have to be entertaining. You have to give them a reason to come back to that stream. So it's great seeing these bigger guys playing with smaller people. I still consider myself a small streamer on Twitch. I'm partnered. I might average 300 more viewers, whatever. But that's one of the way that I help myself drive to get better, is telling myself I can be better. I'm small, etc. But at the end of the day, it's on that streamer. It's a great opportunity. It's awesome to see that support amongst one another for the streamers on Twitch. But at the end of the day, it's on that smaller streamer to retain that audience. We can only do so much. Or somebody else can only do so much for somebody else.
yeah, Shroud could host you every single day for the next week, and it still wouldn't make you a millionaire streamer. Like, if you're crap. You need to learn and grow as a streamer, as a content creator, and develop your, like, personality and your niche and all that stuff. You need to be offering something.
Willis, do you want to add to that?
No, there's nothing really to add. I agree with all that they say.
King Sig said exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah,
You could get hosted. Actually, I'm going to put this point right here. If someone hosts you with a large amount of viewers, the worst thing you can do is sit there and thank all the followers and sit in the lobby. I don't care. Like, I'll be like Shroud hosted me, and I was in the lobby, and I literally said, "Oh my god, that's epic!" And I pretty much just chucked on whatever gear I could find and clicked join labs. And then I ran around labs, and I just it was like a freak moment. I decimated like 4 players and about 12 raiders in the first 3 minutes. It's like, you know, Will Ferrell in Old School, I think it is, and he has the debate, and he's like, everything just went. That was like me during that raid. But that is what you want to do. If you get a big host, if you want to bring your best, and then it's the same when you get a big host or you're playing with someone that's got a really big audience. like Dottie's been playing with Summit so much recently. Dottie is constantly, you know how we were talking earlier in the podcast about when you're streaming at your best. You always want to be the best you. He's doing that right now. Watch him. He's charismatic. He's upbeat. Always like, yeah, let's fuck. He uses all his terminology that I don't understand. America.
Yeah.
You know, like
One.
What like if someone hosts you and it's massive, don't sit there just going, thanks man. Just say thank you so much for all the follows, guys. I'm not gonna read them out. I'm gonna give you some content. It's not
Yeah,
weird. Just do it.
Get into the game.
Get on with
that. When I host like twice a week, I'll host people I don't know, 1-2 viewers. And if they sit there and do that, like Pest was talking, sit there and thank and freak out, I'll tell them, dude, get in the game. Get in the game or they're all going to leave like immediately now. Give them content.
Yeah.
And it can be a bit much. When I first started streaming, not when I first started, shortly after when I was averaging 30 viewers, I had Choco Taco host me multiple times. You know, I go from 30 viewers to 4,000. And I quickly learned that whether there's 3 people, 0 people, 30 people, or 3,000, you act the fucking same. You just do your thing and do what you're used to doing.
Yeah, I remember because when I first
let your
started,
stream talk.
when I first started streaming, Pestily dropped a host on me, and I remember because I had no idea what I was doing. I was literally, I think he hosted me in my first week of streaming, which is, I feel fucking bad for the people that actually came over from the host. Let's be honest, because my quality was pretty terrible. And I remember watching like the statistics at the time. I get like these graphs that get sent to you of your viewerships, which are a good way to grow and understand your King's hated word demographic. But I remember seeing it and it dropped off, and I thought I was doing something wrong, so that made me very self-conscious. But then I realized I watched the VOD back, and I was doing exactly what Pestily was saying. I'm like, oh my god, all these people are watching me. I only got 1 follower a day. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. And like, I wasn't doing anything.
If
And
you're
people were there to watch
if you're
gameplay.
comfortable though, and you can continue to play and talk to chat at the same time, you could read it all, but you gotta
use the
you
loading
gotta be
screen to do that.
fast. Yeah.
Make
Yeah,
a game of
exactly,
it.
yeah.
Like I know this is a bit random, but make a game of it. So when you're like on the load screen, all right, I've only got 2 minutes till we're in the raid. I got to read out all these followers. So be like, brrrr, and do it. And just try your best to do it.
Wrap them.
Fuck the names
click
up.
around.
Just say whatever. Just make up words. Just like John. Thanks for the follow. Like just like it's just like because
Yeah.
if they see you
One-
excited about it, then they just get hyped. Of
You
Yeah,
wanna know what I did when I first started out? My trick:
course.
have a funny story. Have a funny story on deck. Have a funniest story on deck that you don't tell anybody. When you get a big host, you know, if you start freaking out, you know, just focus on the game so you can watch your monitor. You can watch the game, provide content. You know that you're not going to be able to look over at your chat right now and reply to everybody. Have a funny story on deck, something you know that is going to make people laugh. Tell that story to give yourself time to cool down and unwind and continue with what you're doing on your stream and get into a groove and then focus back on the chat.
So moving on from that, how do you feel about the affiliate changes after having to grind for partnership? Correct me if I'm wrong, but affiliates are basically a partner, not just not verified and make less. Once again, correct me if I'm wrong. So obviously this only applies to 3 of us, but Voxi and Wills have been working hard to push towards partner. I actually want to know, why do you guys want to be partner? Like, do you actually know what partner even is and what you benefits you get?
Well, I know the benefits of it, man. But personally, like I was always so like scared to stream and like come out of my shell and do something I truly loved. So for me, man, like Clean pushed me early on to get on the streaming grind, like do it because he knew I always wanted to do it. So for me, getting that check mark means more than just as like its benefits of you make a little more on split subs, you get emotes, that kind of stuff, you get better in coding, all that stuff. But for me, man, it's more of the verification of it's like, yeah, man, you said fuck you to the guy who said you couldn't, and you did it, you made it, kind of thing. That's like it's more of a like I did it, yeah, I made it.
You also want to get into that Twitch partner room at PAX.
Yeah, like to be
Yeah.
honest with you, for me, being an affiliate now was way better when I first was an affiliate. I mean, having 3 emotes, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, and now they're talking about ad revenue, which may not be a lot. Like, I'm not going to run them, but like, let's just say you guys are getting things and we're getting things that I dreamt of. I was like, damn, I would kill for 3 emotes, 4 emotes. Now we get 5. I mean, look, partner for me was mainly because I literally just wanted a board of emotes. I wanted people to watch me and like not have to. I don't have to sit there and restart the stream endlessly at the start to get transcoding, to have people lurk on me at 160p. Like, there's
Yeah.
just quality of life things that I'm sick of doing. Like, that's
The
literally it for me.
the thing that and a lot of people, I know that you guys understand this, is that it doesn't end at partner.
Just the
That's
start,
that's the beginning of the grind.
That's the beginning. That's the beginning. That's what I always told people.
Yeah.
And I also want to
Yeah.
say that as a partner, that purple check mark, before the check mark, I was a shitter with a mic. Now with the check mark, I'm a shitter with a mic. Do not judge yourself on that check mark. That check mark at the end of the day means nothing. You don't, if you want to be a successful streamer, I considered myself successful at 20 viewers. Why? Because I had fun. That was my escape. That made my day. Appreciating the people who could literally, they could have went and watched Amaranth, but instead they came and talked to me, and that was huge. That was huge. Do not put a number on your stream or what you do to make you feel good about yourself. You don't even have to become affiliate to be considered what I would call successful at streaming. At the end of the day, it's, if you love doing it and you have one person who comes into your stream and uses your stream as something to relax or enjoy, or out of entertainment, in my mind, that's a successful streamer. Some of my favorite streamers, tiny, to 10 words, or not words, 10 viewers, and it's just they're genuine. They're
Weibo.
genuine. No, fuck no, not Weibo. I was talking about Josh Potts TV. I love the guy to death. Love the guy to death, and he's not a huge streamer. And the other day he came to me and he literally said, "I think my channel's dead." And so the next day I played with him, and afterwards I messaged him. I'm like, "That's some of the best content I've had in a long time on my stream, playing with you." I said, "You can't." That's why I say never look at numbers. Never look at numbers. And like I said, it takes a little bit of luck too.
But when you say luck, okay, so I hear a lot of people say luck about this stuff. The luck comes from hard work. If you are not
Correct.
online, you are not going to get hosted. You need to be there.
Correct.
You create your own luck by giving yourself the opportunity to be given luck. It's like saying I'm going to win the lottery without buying a ticket. Like, it's not going to happen. If I want to win the lottery, I can increase my luck by
Buying all the tickets.
buying every single ticket. But it's statistically unlikely you're going to get a host if you're not on stream.
Also, I want
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt you. I don't understand why we're all so mean to Weibo, but we do love him. I just want to say that.
It's because he's a virgin.
Just to add to what was said about the whole partner thing as well, is one of the most disgusting things I ever see, and I'm not going to name drop, but people defining themselves as better because their partner are fuckheads. Honestly, like, they're absolute fuckheads. There's people like at either TwitchCon or at I've seen at other events that I've been to in Australia where like people look down on other people just because they're not a partner, or they think that they're entitled because they're partner. It's like, honestly, it's just such a disgusting thing to say. And becoming a partner, whilst it is a unique opportunity because there's not that many, it is growing and it is easier to get into. I think they're going to do a rework at some point soon of the requirements to get in, but at the same time, it's like,
well, that's like something that I think. Like, I look at Willers now. I got partner when I was 75 average, just broke 75. Willers is not yet partner. It's very hard to get partner in the US because it's a saturated market. I would say that Willers right now, with 100% agreement from myself and probably a lot of viewers, the Willers is a much more fleshed out, entertaining streamer than I was when I got partnered. Like, my quality was crap. I was not a good streamer. I was like, it was a lot easier to get partner in Australia, but he's not. It doesn't degrade from the quality of his stream though. It's just the check mark.
I mean,
Thanks, man. I
Slashy
appreciate
says
that.
that,
The
but
touch.
also when he was.
Sorry.
What's that? Sorry, you can go first. If you want.
I'm sorry. Just to touch base with this real quick, because it correlates with exactly what he said. I know partners with less than 100 followers. It's I literally know partners with less than 100 followers. Depending on where there's so many different things that go into a partner application that they look at rather than just the numbers. So it's,
Yeah.
I just don't want somebody to judge themselves or judge their success or what they do on that check mark. I don't think it's fair
Well,
to yourself to do that.
if you come up playing one game and you get your 75 average and then become partner and then become a variety streamer and do it as a hobby, you could run around partner getting 35 average viewers for the rest of your streaming career. That's not uncommon.
Yeah,
That's
it is true.
that's what it is.
All right. So do people in chat feel like friends or an audience or something else? I reckon there's gonna be a consensus on the same word that everyone's gonna say.
Well, it's actually kind of different from when you're a smaller streamer to when you're a larger streamer.
I
Like,
don't think so. I would actually disagree with that to an
well,
extent.
yeah, but I think I would consider my stream kind of like family because I've literally had conversations with the same people for almost a year, just in-depth like conversations. And I feel like as you grow as a streamer, you still love your chat and you still want to build this community because it's why you started in the first place. But you also lose that sense of connection when you start pulling big numbers, which is hard. It's probably one of the hardest parts. I wouldn't know what it's like, but I know it's true.
I always think of my whole chat as a community. Like, and they've like I know some people in my community better than others. Like, like it's just part of it. But I always feel like we're all there with a common goal. We all have a passion for Escape from Tarkov and gaming, and we all enjoy having a good time. So that's how I always feel like I'm connected to my chat. Like I said, like there's some that I know better than others that have been around for longer. But yeah, kind of like a Tarkov fan, but it's my community. And that's the best thing you can do as a streamer is build a community over anything.
I think a lot of the people that I consider like friends on the platform are streamers themselves. They were viewers and have become streamers, or are viewers while they were streamers, and we've come up together and stuff like that. That's one of my key things is that I like I have a lot of friends that are streamers, but then there's like a bunch of people that I know a little bit better in the community, like my mods, and then there's the overall community that like I consider them all friends to a degree, but some people I don't know as well as other people.
I
Um,
talk to Slash more than anyone in my life.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I talk to Pest more than my wife.
I definitely agree with
um,
what Pest had a community aspect, or like that's what I see them as. But like, I'll spend my time after my streams to hang out in my Discord, and whoever wants to come talk to me and hang out, I'll get to know them better. And some of them became good friends of mine. Like that's just how it works, man. Like I'll sit in my Discord, whoever comes in, we'll have conversations, and some people get closer than others. Like,
one thing I always try to do, when I said I disagree with Vox, to an extent, I'm not calling him an idiot just because I don't agree with him. I mean, he's an idiot on his own terms, but I as far as the community and everything, it's huge about building a community. My stream might be a little bit different because I focus so much on interaction and talking to people. Little known fact, if I didn't talk to my chat, I wouldn't have died all wipe in Tarkov. But one thing that I try to do with people, new people in stream, you talk to them. I appreciate their time coming in, so I'm going to show them that, interact with them, and talk to them. I always try to remember one thing about people, everybody, and I might be a little bit more focused on that, and that's why I disagree a little bit more. Because when I have, there's days where I hit 900 numbers and chat's just flying by, and I still try to read every single comment and reply. It gets hard some days, it does, or something happens in game where you lose your focus. But that's like I was saying before, whether you have, 0 viewers, 330, 3,000, you act the same way. You be genuine, you just be yourself. And but as far as building the community, that's huge. That's huge. Go ahead though.
There's different people though. Like I have a lot of people in my chat that I talk to every single day, and I know like tons about their life. We're really good mates. And then you're like, and I don't mean to just call you out like Keck W spammer, but Keck W spammer is like he's always in my stream. But like I don't know anything about Keck W spammer because all he does is spam Keck W, but he's still part of my community. It's just a different kind of person.
Yeah, but see, like,
Yeah.
with Kings, yeah, I can understand where you're coming from, and that's to the point of interaction. And you are very
Mhm.
interactive, and so is the guy down below me, Slush. But the thing is, he'll know that when he first started, he had those conversations with his mods, and now that he's got just shy of 1,000 people on a good night's, way more than that, he doesn't have the same conversations, and I
No,
feel like that's the
not
hard.
with everyone. I agree.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do that with everybody. But I don't think the fact that more viewers should change the way that you interacted prior. You
Oh,
should still
definitely not.
have that, in my opinion. So I think that's always going to be there, or it should be rather. Those are your roots. That's how you started. That's you building the start of that community, and that base was with those conversations. So even if he does have 1,000 viewers and he's speaking with chat, I don't think just because those viewers are there, he should change anything with certain people the way he talked to them before. And I'm always striving. Oh God, there's Weibo. I'm always striving to get more people like that in chat because I love learning about people. Streaming is all about the interaction and talking to these people. I can't remember who said it. It was either Pest or Slush. They said, if you're streaming and your first thing is, oh, hey, I'm going to try to make money, it's not going to fucking work. You have to be a people person. You have to be there to interact and everything. So I completely understand and agree with where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'd go as far as to say is you kind of run like a family, except you're the touchy uncle.
I'm the touchy uncle. That's fair. I'm not even going to argue. I'm not even going to argue.
His voice is like warm molasses, and so are his fingers.
Do you think having a
Confirm.
significant name matters?
Marketing.
Something. I mean, I think definitely
Marketing.
something you can say in one word, not like anything crazy like Ninja Sniper 420 XXX, something crazy.
Anton.
Like you got to have something simple, man. Something to roll off the tongue.
Anton with 13 underscores.
13 underscores.
Yeah, dude, I
so-
remember that.
That's before I was Kings. My name was I Destroy Kings with 2 I's in the beginning, and I shortened it up. People are like, "Oh, why are you doing that?" It's smart marketing. Nobody's gonna remember I Destroy Kings if they just randomly hear it or see it on a video.
Well,
And I shortened it up just for that reason.
Pest was this is Pestily.
Because Pestily was taken.
Yeah, I was Slush Puppy TV, and then I bounced them once I got partner because they literally never logged on. Now I'm just Slush Puppy.
As soon as I got partner, the next day I put in the application to change over to take Pestily.
Yeah, I used to be a cringy ass Vox TTV.
Okay, so now there is actually a point to that. So, because I think it's Deadly Slob's actually not against the whole TV thing. I always have this conversation with him. He plays devil advocate a lot. You got to think about majority names on Twitch are taken, right? So what do you do instead? Like I wrote "this is" in front of my name. This is Pestily. Like because everyone could just easily think past the whole "this is" part, and it's just Pestily. So I think putting like Vox TV at the end is fine because it's like you're just waiting to get that actual Voxi bit.
Well, I've had Voxi for a very long time, but I lost the account, and so I had to wait for it to actually get taken down for inactivity. I had to run Vox TTV, and the worst part was Anton with the TTV by the way meme meant that like during the period in which I owned that account, Vox TTV, everyone's like TTV by the way.
Like Spell Power right there, it's a perfect example. Like he's got Spell Power _TV because Spell Power would be taken.
Yeah,
It doesn't bother me at all.
but you look at like
we touched
XQC,
earlier.
man. XQC, I swear, has just face rolled his keyboard, and now he's just XQC. Like it doesn't matter. But if you have something that's just like a sentence, like a phrase, people are just gonna shorten it anyway. So just shorten it.
Yeah, but his keyboard name is also reflective of his chat smashing their heads against their keyboards as well. So.
Oh, probably one more question. How much do you spend networking prior to full time and nowadays? My networking's probably a lot different to everyone. I suppose it's probably just about the same. I built Slush touched on it earlier about how you find people around the same size as you, and then you work together to help grow each other by learning experiences and feeding off each other's like failures. Like, so, all right, someone did this, Slash passed out on stream. No, don't pass out on stream. Like, you know, like you like. But there was a lot of early days where I would bounce ideas off Slash, and Slash would be like, yeah, don't do it like that, do it like this, and I'm like, fuck, that's good. And then he'd do the same back to me.
Yeah.
I
Pest and I aren't the same streamer, but we can give something to each other because we are fresh takes on each other because we are so different. So it helps to talk to people that have a similar goal to you, and like if that goal is to be full-time streamers, work together with those people.
I'd like to hear Kings and Willers and that talk about this too, because they come from a very different like circle of people.
Yeah. Yeah, we have the degenerates and the deplorables over here. So as far as networking, I love playing with new people. It gets hard, I'm not gonna lie. There's times where people wait 3-4 months to get games in. It's just you have that many people approaching you at times. I love playing with people who are brand new streamers, people who I believe in, people that are tiny, but they don't know what the hell they're doing yet, and introducing these people to other people. I love networking. I love playing with large streamers too. Like we've said, I'm a lot different than most Tarkov channels you're going to see, on Twitch. Most people, they find a red key card, they're freaking out and running around. I fucking delete it, 5 of them already, just to get a reaction. That's what I stream for, is a reaction. But as far as networking, it's all like Pest and Slush said, you can be polar opposites, but as long as you are like-minded, that is what is important. As long as you are like-minded, you can do so much for one another. Now, when I say network, I don't mean I'm not going to go into Pestyly's stream and be like, oh, hey, I'm going to be streaming today. Do you want to stream? I'm not trying to get promotion out of it. I'm trying to play with somebody who's like-minded, where it's going to benefit both of us, or I know that the content is going to be there. Don't be the shitbag that goes in and says, hey, I just started streaming and I want you to play with me, because it's not going to work with fucking anybody and you're going to get laughed out of a chat room.
But networking, when people hear networking, though, they think of it as a business transaction. Like if I just, say I'm starting out in the world of software dev, I don't just walk up to Bill Gates' house and knock on his door and go, oh, give me money. Like it's not how it works.
Yeah.
Like it's not it's networking makes it sound very like formal and stuff like that. It's not networking. It's just being part of the community. If you want to be part of the Tarkov community, contribute, talk to people, make friends in the community, and be a part of it. Add something, like make a post on Reddit that isn't just this guy's a fuckhead. Like talk to other streamers about what they're doing and stuff like that. Like how they're like forward the game and help build the community, add something to the community, and you will be part of the community, and then you will help it, and then you will be a part of it, and then as it grows, you can grow.
Can I also just say to genuinely network, don't just network because it's a business. Like you can tell the difference between when you actually make friends with a streamer and they're genuine and you're genuine, and someone comes in and they lurk you and then you don't lurk them, then you never hear from them again because they don't care as long as it's not benefiting them. Like the difference is like me and Slush, right? I met the guy in Tassie. We bought beers. I just genuinely get along with Slush. Even if I see Slush in my channel once a year, I know that he still supports me because I don't expect him to be there all the time because it's a friendship. And I think a lot of streamers get carried away in networking with it. Like, oh yeah, he stopped coming in my channel, so he's dead to me. And I think that's really harmful.
Early on with me, when I was first getting involved with the battle state stuff, because like me and Clean have been homies for like 5 years now. So when he was still like building his stream on his come up, so like a lot of people knew me for like being the content guy and that early on. So like people, I guess kind of wanted to get to know me, that kind of thing. But I kindly mostly just stuck like with like my close buddies to play Tarkov with, and then eventually like when I started kicking up the streams, I'd hang out in some streams, get to know some guys, I like their streams, and then they'd come to my streams, and then eventually like we just kept going and networking. And it kind of just built. And I remember actually I remember I was like around 30 to 40 viewers. I think I was lurking around Slush's chat, and then like we just started gaming one day, and then I started, Slush definitely helped me build up my channel quite a bit, and then people started recognizing me just by game with Slush, because we have 2 different personalities, so we kind of clash really well in a really unique way. But he helped me like really start out and build some great connections, build up my stream. And then meet guys along the way. I let it really come all naturally. I'm not really like going out there to focus on like, taking advantage of people. I just kind of let it happen, it just seems to happen. So that's my approach at it, just all natural.
Yeah.
Networking is such a big topic. We could talk for 2 hours just on networking, really. But it comes down to like streamer etiquette. It also comes across like exactly what I'm doing right here. This is a podcast networking with, there's 5 Tarkov streamers talking here about streaming Tarkov, playing Tarkov. That's also networking. Like, we're not here to steal each other's viewers. We're here just to build Tarkov and help other people get inspired to make content. And that's networking, like it's not, it doesn't have to be the, hey, will you host me sometime? Or, hey, will you do duos with me? It's not like that at all. It's,
A good example of this is like me and Willers started playing games together and bouncing ideas off each other and playing games a lot. And then Willers introduced me to his friend Patrick, who knew Shroud. And Shroud, Patrick mentioned me to Shroud, and then Shroud hosted me. That was not, it wasn't my intention to do that, to find that out. I just enjoyed playing with Patrick and Willers. Patrick's a dope player at the game. I enjoyed getting owned by those dudes every time they TK'd me. We created some cool content. It was really fun. And then it happened that Shroud Pat mentioned me to Shroud, and then I got hosted. It's not a deliberate push for that. It's just that I was enjoying what I was doing, and it
comes back to what Voxi said about being genuine and just just enjoying your content with other people and building relationships and friendships.
Yeah. But if I guarantee you, if I had have met Patrick the first time and then I had to message him on Discord and say, "Could you get Shroud to host me?" I would never ever hear from him again. It's not like you would not have that happen. No one would do that, like, and actually gain a benefit from it.
I remember we talked about that in your stream one day, me and you, Slush, about people who come in and they only network by asking people if they can get a host and checking them out and stuff. And I have no issues. I have no issues hosting anybody, checking out anybody's stream. But you have to, as Pest said, streamer etiquette. If they approach it the right way, I will do it. No questions asked. If they're a scumbag about it, trust me, it will get you. It will 2 steps backwards. 2 steps backwards. People, as streamers who are close, they'll tell you about these other people. Like, he had the audacity to do this, and it's really frowned upon.
How I choose who I host when I go offline is, well, as long as my internet doesn't fall out, how I choose who I host is usually I will scroll through the Tarkov directory, and if I see someone's name that I recognize because they hang out in my chat a lot and they are talkative, they're a nice person, and they're not like pushing themselves on me, I'll see their name and I'll go, I didn't even know they stream. And then I'll go, all right,
I do
that
that
guy's
too.
a really cool guy. I host him. Yeah.
I pretty much start at the 75 viewer mark, go down to see who I'm not following, and I go through every stream until I find one that I'm not following, because once I follow someone, I know I've hosted him. So,
or you're Pestily, and then you host me, and then you're like, the last host was too small, so you host me the next game.
That game I was playing, I had like 300 or 400 viewers, and then
300 or 400 viewers is like makes me shit my pants, man. Like, it's like,
yeah.
I never double hosted
host,
someone like that.
He literally Pestily turned around. He's like, "Yo, the host was too small, so I hit you with another one." I was like, "You fucking what, mate?"
I want to touch on something that
Go Kings.
I want to say something real quick. Kazayevich just asked, what's the right way to approach a streamer, not to ask for a host, instead of just asking for a host. But like, one thing that I always look for people, a lot of people that I host, like Slush said, step 1, being active in a community, and then finding out that they actually stream without even knowing. Like, that's huge, because then you know that they're there for your community. I love when people are new streamers and they're not scared to ask in chat, what can I do to be better? What advice can you give me? What did you go through? I don't mind talking about that stuff. I'm sure no streamer will, in all honesty.
That's why we're here talking about it now.
Yeah, if you have a question, we don't care if you let us know that you stream, but don't do it by saying, "Hey, yeah, I gotta go. I'm gonna go start up my thing and stream now." And guys, come on over if you want to.
If you want a cheeky tip to get a host from me, sorry I cut you off, Kings. Play solo.
No, it's fine.
There is no fucking solo streamers in all of Tarkov. like I go down the list and I'm like, he's in a squad, he's in a squad, he's in a squad, he's in a squad. I was like, my chat loves watching solo people, and I try and find people playing solo.
I love solo because I just honestly get so sick of waiting for people in the lobbies and like.
Oh man, that
tossing
other
gear.
day, that was the worst.
Dude, don't feel bad about that, man. I honestly don't care.
I felt like a
He kept getting
bitch.
alt F4'd by Bitbot over and over and over and over again. And I was like, it's before PAX. Like, he's not complaining.
Yeah, that's another big thing that I want to point out. If you're playing with another streamer, remember they have an audience as well. Appreciate the time that they're taking out of their day to play with you. Remember that they have an audience. Remember that they have to do their own thing too. I had an issue with this one day because we had two completely different play styles, and something happened on my end, and he got pissed. I'm like, I can't change what I do just for you. But
try playing with Pest, man. I've never geared up quicker in my bloody life.
And just
that's not a bad idea though. If you do duos, have like 10, 20, 30 loadouts ready to go before you start the duos. Yeah. It's really just
I
etiquette.
always pre-build before I play with someone like Slush or.
It's not like if one of your mates dies at the start of a raid and then you kill the crew and you've got pleb gear on, it's not the worst thing in the world to just chuck a nade at your feet and go to the next raid. Like
no, it's content.
You want to. It's the same as like if you're playing PUBG. If you do the drop and two of your teammates die and you're solo in squads and there's still 90 people left, you just kill yourself, man. Just get in the next game.
Yeah, I'm pretty much out of like if a streamer dies that I'm playing with, like let's say you Slush or Kings, we were playing on last night. If you guys die, I'm out of that raid immediately because you guys still have an audience to entertain. I'm leaving that raid right then and there.
Yeah, because you could sit there forever and clutch it if you're patient enough. But I end up just running at them like a ball in a china shop because I'm like, Slush doesn't have time, and neither do I.
If someone kills my teammate, I am up their ass instantly, regardless of how much health I have or the situation. I'm just
and if you make the kill, it's like the best thing ever.
Yeah, I saved your gear, and now I'm dead. Yeah.
Guys, I would love to keep talking longer, but I try and keep these podcasts around 2 hours, and we're already at 2.5 hours. Unfortunately, I want to wrap this up here. If you guys have anything you want to say quickly before we do finish this up.
I want to thank you personally for letting me come aboard. I want to thank your chat for being here and asking these questions. The other three streamers I don't really give a shit about. They can't do anything for me for my own personal gains. But no, Vox, Leslie Willer, as always, thank you.
Now I'm gonna be streaming after this. I'm gonna put my intro on for 10 minutes, and then I'll be back to play Tarkov. But in the meantime, guys, here's the links to everyone in the chat that's in the podcast. Take the time, go give everyone a follow, and if you got any questions about streaming Tarkov, make sure you hit these guys up. They're fucking awesome blokes. Been around the community a long time, and guys won't be disappointed. They will go out of their way to answer your questions. 1, 2, did I get everyone? Slush. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks again for the invite, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so make sure you go give a follow, and it costs you nothing. And then if you got these questions, hit them up. Someone was asking about their Discords. Go to their channels. I think ! Discord will pretty much get everyone's Discords, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yep. Go join their Discords, ask them questions and all that. If you're an inspiring streamer, including myself, if you hit up any of us, I try to answer every single DM I get on Discord. It does take me sometimes a couple of days to get back to everyone. So, but the other guys will answer questions as well, and be patient, and we'll get to you guys and answer your questions when we can. Willers and Kings, Voxi, Slush, thanks so much for hanging out here. If you're listening to this on YouTube, there'll be links to all their streams down below. Go give them a follow over there as well. And everyone that's in chat, I'll be back in about 10-15 minutes to shoot some PMCs.
Bye.
Bye, chat. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.